Hello everyone, my name is Steve DeLive. Welcome to my stream. Today we're going to be going over old Brooke videos that I haven't seen. See if there's anything worthwhile on this, where we left off last time. I think the stream after this one I haven't seen, but then the one after that I have. And same with a couple more, like 5 of them after that. So then we're going to skip ahead like 5 if we get to the end of this one, if there's not a lot of stuff happening in it. So this is where it might get a little choppy for like chronological stuff, but I'll be able to tell you what's going on because I should remember what was going on at the time I've seen it. If YouTube says I've seen it. Anyways, welcome to the day. It's Sunday.
First thing I need to do is go to the bathhouse, use the bathroom, and wash my hands. I bet I got makeup all over my face. Are you going straight? Are you turning? See, you motherfuckers ain't got no turn signals.
Ah.
It's not for your health. It's to keep us safe and to keep the flow of traffic moving.
Safety has to do with health.
Use your turn signal if you care. If you care about yourself, if you care about others, use your fucking turn signal. It's free. It's a free way to help other people.
Bro, hey, I just opened my chat now, guys. Hello, you guys.
This culture of not using your fucking turn signal is so lazy and pathetic. It really shows the character
Part of a culture
of a person. Something that simple. Yes, it fucking does. Just like the cart return. Just like the cart return. Now, people who are disabled, I get it. There are people that have health problems. But more often than not, when I see these lazy fucks just leave.
Is YouTube still not fixed the iPhone emoji issue?
Even the cart in the middle of the damn Walmart or the Publix or wherever, they are more than capable to waddle their ass over to the cart return, but they just refuse to because they're lazy. Those things, your turn signal, that cart return, little things like that really create a person.
Oh, we're coming in hot. I thought this was gonna be a one-off. She's really going.
It really does. It creates a picture of the character of a person.
Oh, man.
That shit is lazy. Now, if you got health problems, you're elderly, I understand. But it'd be young people that I see out there do it.
You know what else is lazy? Not working for years because he like wanted to do drugs instead, and now you're just mad at the world.
They just throw it up on the curb. It's crazy. Lazy asses. Don't even use the damn turn signal. Which is against the law. It's a law. It is.
Thank you for the sparkles.
Yes, it is. I promise you. It is. It's state law to use your fucking turn signal. I think you should get a ticket for not doing it. You know how many traffic accidents happen every day because nobody was using the turn signal? Thousands.
Is there a ticket for that?
Thousands. Just like then, I'm going to make a right-hand turn at a light. Cars are coming from the left side of me. I don't know if they're turning or if they're staying straight. If they're staying straight, then I have to yield to them. If they're turning, then I can turn. None of them had on a fucking turn signal. So I'm just sitting there, wondering if they're going straight, wondering if they're turning left. So you're preventing the flow of traffic by being stupid. Just like if you were the lead.
Just like live streaming while driving and driving with no hands and being very distracted and looking at your other phone trying to get some fucking information or call somebody like the gym or Alley Financial.
At a green light, you come to a red light and you gotta stop, right? Come to a red light, you gotta stop. But you're at the front car, you're the first car. If you get the fuck out of the way, the flow of traffic can move faster. Why is it always a slow-ass motherfucking car that has the green light? It'd be the slowest fucking Prius, the slowest fucking Subaru on the road, right there at that green light, sitting there. And then only 1 or 2 cars can even get through that green light because...
They had a meeting about it. They were like, all right, Bob, you're the slowest driver. You're going to be at the front of traffic. We're going to use camera eyes to sync it up to piss off people like Brooke.
The car that was in the lead didn't know where the accelerator was, didn't want to get out the damn way. So only 2 or 3 cars get to go through that light when 10 or 15 could have went through that light if they all would have accelerated through the light properly. People have become pansies to the point that they're scared to hit their accelerator.
Pansies.
And it shows in their driving skills. The flow of traffic does not flow because people are slow. Literally and figuratively. And they're behind the wheel of a car. When you are at a green, if you come to a red light and it turns green, get the fuck up the road, hit your accelerator, get out of the way so that the flow of traffic can get through that intersection. Please, do everybody a favor and find your accelerator. Oh, I love that. I'm gonna get t-shirts. Do everybody a favor and find your fucking accelerator. I love it.
To be fair to Brooke, she's not really saying she's targeted or anything. That's more like a Heather Gillespie thing. She does think everyone watches her YouTube channel and is a stalker and wants to kidnap her and stuff. But this is more just she's mad at the world. People don't know how to drive.
Do everybody a favor and hit that accelerator. I didn't know I'd ever be talking about these things. I really thought this was common sense shit.
Yeah, and everything's a scam. Sad little leg boy.
Usually I'm telling people to slow down. Here recently, in these parts, you got to tell them to speed up because they don't know what they're doing. They're lost. They're born and raised here, but they're lost. Where is all my wipes?
We have to be fair to everyone, Scott. What do you think of it?
Yo, I don't have any baby wipes. I don't understand what happens to all of my stuff. We just bought wipes. How am I out? And I know there ain't no toilet paper up in this bitch. Oh my God. I ain't got not a near. Oh, thank you, Jesus.
What does she have in her hand? Does she sneeze in her hand?
Oh, there's one wipe. Let's go. I gotta pee. Actually, you need to stay charged. Give me a minute. You need to charge, fam. Make sure we don't get robbed.
Unless she bails herself out, yeah. I mean, she's just there until she's sentenced.
Can you let me in, please? Alright, let's eat. I'm not going anywhere else. I'm eating right here. I need the pasta sauce. I'm probably gonna need my stove. I got a lot of stuff to pull out, y'all. This is a task, okay? I'm just gonna be honest. This is gonna be a task. Oh, but it'll be worth it.
Use Dawn soap to do the laundry. And, Fabulosa to do the dishes. We're all fucked up over here.
Grilled mushrooms. Where did that bag go? What is this? Oh, that's the sauce. I don't need that tonight. Not yet. I need Alfredo, Italian seasoning. That'll probably be good. Garlic salt. I ain't never buying them damn liquid smokes again. They done leaked out everywhere and I'm throwing them away.
I think Brooke could have been out if she just took that plea deal, but then she'd have to, you know, I don't know, say that she did a crime and have another felony. But I swear, what was it? It was 8 months to 19 months, but she's already done like 10 months. I don't know, bad math. Last time I checked, it was 9 months. Long enough to have a baby, and I think that was last month that I checked, so I assume it's 10 months now, but I might be wrong. Anyways, they probably would have been like, all right, as long as she was remorseful and stuff, they would have probably let her out. But she was like, no, we're gonna take this all away. So she's fucked. She'll get like 40 months now. Silly goose.
Actually, I'm gonna shove them in this box and hope that they don't spill out even more. They're closed, but you know. Welcome to car life. It's always
her bond is $500,000.
freaking something. Pasta sauce, seasonings. God, my back is screaming. Where's the food? Where none of my wipes are, y'all, and it's really pissing me off. Because I need some. And we just went to the Dollar Tree, remember? Earlier in the week. Where are all my wipes?
Just getting riled up again. It is 9 months? October, November, December, January, February, March.
Oh, there's one or two. Thank God.
Shoot.
All right. I got
Yeah, it's been 9 months. Next month will be 10 months. Yeah, so if they were like 8 to 19 months, if she, let's say she got 8 months, she would have been like doing a month overtime. Which, they would have let her out.
And pan because I got a bowl of pasta, so this is gonna be. Sorry, I was trying to let you charge a little bit, and I don't know where I'm even gonna put you because the camera stand is broken. Remember? So I don't even have a.
She needs to end this live stream anyways. This live stream was a 6-hour live stream. I don't even know how the battery survived.
Way. Maybe I can just set you up there, but I think the wind would blow you down, and I don't think this thing. I want these to steam.
She's making steamed hams.
Because I think you're supposed to bake them in the oven. So we're going to do it a little different. I want these to kind of steam cook. Y'all, we picked gas today. Can you believe we did all that time? That was crazy, wasn't it?
There's Matt camera stands here.
Camera stand manufacturing company in America. Apparently it can be very profitable because I've already spent like, you know, $100 in just a year on camera stands. Probably more than that if we're talking about ones in the past since I started the channel. Oh, I've probably spent $250 in 2 or 3 years on camera stands. It's just been recently I spent $80 on several. It's crazy. And they all broke. They last a few weeks, if that. They might be falling apart in your hands as soon as you open the package. That's what we get for sending all of our jobs to overseas. We're getting our karma for shitting on our own people and turning our backs on our own people. We're getting karma.
Brooke is just rough with all of her shit, bro.
These crappy products. Let's see. Ooh, these are.
I don't know what those are. I guess they're not steamed hams. If, where did I see this message? If Randy and Dave has given her money, I bet Randy's probably. Randy has all of her bank cards.
It's gonna be amazing. They're actually.
Sorry, I don't know why I paused to cough. 'Cause I was gonna say something. Bruce Lee gave Randy all of her bank cards.
Let me check them. I'm gonna make sure I ain't burning them. Oh, they're doing good. We're just gonna leave them flipped over. If they get a little crusty, I'm just gonna make sure they ain't sticking. I don't want to put no more water in there, but I'm glad that I did put water because what it did is it hydrated that mushroom that was a little dry. They were on sale. They probably been sitting on the shelf. I take cheese, mushroom, strong mushroom. They need salt. Season your fish. Oh, my dumb ass. I ain't never folded no pasta in my life, and I could have done a better job than this. I mean, look how open. You can literally see the inside, and it's just, once it starts to bulk, that stuff on the inside is just going to come out. Which means you're just going to have a piece of lump noodle with no inside. I got about a cup. Let's try it. I see the roasted red pepper. I see Italian seasoning that I threw on there. It looks like a little octopus, doesn't it? He kind of wiggles like an octopus. I got stuff all over my hands.
No, I was wondering what it looked like an octopus. The pasta looks like an octopus?
I'm kind of like in camping mode, so excuse me for being a gross girl. I was raised by men. Hot? I'm still a girl though, you know?
You're always gross though. It's nothing new. Her and Foodie Beauty could do a show together.
The Alfredo sauce is really good. First of all, that is way too much dough. I just want the middle. I just want the good part with the cheese. The pasta tastes very artificial. It doesn't taste like homemade pasta. I've had
Because it's not homemade pasta. You bought it at Walmart in a bag.
tons of
Like, pre-cooked or something. It's not even... it's not even dry pasta.
Italian food and homemade pasta and like handmade pasta, and it tastes It tastes cheap. It tastes very generic. Let me see what's in this thing.
Looks like portobello mushrooms. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Those are the dangerous mushrooms, apparently, to talk about or some shit.
Oh, shit. I'm spilling stuff everywhere. Of course I am. Is it a cooking video with Brooke? If I'm not, I'm either cutting myself, catching something on fire. And I know how to cook. I'm just accident prone. I'm a klutz.
She'd probably act the same way as, you mean interviewer for her job? Like a job to work for me? Or to ask her questions? Because she would just act the same way that, she freaked out when Video Game Gooner, I think, asked her. I think it was Video Game Gooner. She was like, why would I ever do an interview with you? Amanda, thank you for the star. I'll see if I can find it. Let's see if we can find it.
The ingredient list has like 30 things in it, which is not a good sign. When we're looking at what is healthy and what is not, typically stuff that has a low ingredient list is going to be the best way to go. You usually want to see products that only have 2, 3, maybe 4 ingredients max. The more ingredients, the worse off the product is.
Why do people want me to put money on Brooke's books? I'll never put money on Brooke's books. Brooke's books. Why is this fun to say?
It tastes. I can taste the basil in it. I don't know. I'll probably never buy it again.
There, this is oh, she talks about it a lot of times. Maybe we could just speed run this. Hold on. Where's the... Oh, get out of here. So she mentions it here and there and everywhere.
Interview me years ago, and I wouldn't give these losers the time of day, and so they got obsessed with my channel, and now they won't leave me alone. I've never met them, don't know them. I don't even think we live in the same state.
She's just gonna group me in with these people if I try to interview her.
Not let him interview me on his stupid channel, and
hold on.
And that's where it's. These people had YouTube channels before I had a YouTube channel. Their YouTube channel never took off. One guy is openly attracted to me and got obsessed with me. He was mad that I would not let him interview me on his stupid channel, and that's where it's snowballed from there. It snowballed from there. He was mad that I didn't want contact with his kind of content because he's a bully. He's an internet bully. If y'all know, most of my regular followers have already seen it. We don't pay it no attention anymore. But for those that don't know that are new here, I'm telling you what happened. These people that are trying to trash my name and make money off of my name, they all had YouTube channels that failed, and they're still failing because they're evil. If you go listen to them for 2 seconds, you can see how evil they are.
So she'll just group me in with all those people. Apparently there's a bunch of people who try to interview her.
He wanted to interview me, and I was like, no, that's weird. And that's what started all of this. Thank you, Big Fred. Interview me. Fuck my mental health. Users that have been stalking my channel, they had YouTube channels way before I came to YouTube. And their channels didn't take off. One of those little twerps somehow found my channel, got the hots for me, wanted to interview me.
What? Why does she think that they have the hots for her, though?
Some of y'all have probably...
They make videos with, like, heroin needles in her arm and stuff. And it's like, Brooke's a terrible mom. She's a terrible person. Why would she get that impression that they have the hots for her?
Seen this crap. I say that respectfully, because I don't...
Anyways, what's this, another one?
To interview me, and I'm excited to interview with them, you know?
Oh, that's
take some shit out.
Never mind, that's an actual job interview, silly me. I'm walking into an interview. I had one, some like cops wanted to interview me. Okay, so those three aren't anything to do with the nefarious... I don't know. I think she means Video Game Gooner. I thought she would have said his name but I don't know who she's talking about. One of them wanted to interview her in the past.
And it says, you know, it's supposed to be a healthy version. No artificial dyes, synthetic colors. I love how they put that stuff. That is a marketing scheme. It's like, here's all the bad stuff we don't have, but we do have bad stuff, but we're not going to tell you what is bad. You know what I mean? When people read that, cheese made from milk, cow.
He's literally riding off my coattails.
Not treated with RBST. No significant different. Blah, 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 blah. No synthetic colors. No artificial flavors. Yeah, well, you know, maybe it needed those artificial flavors because it don't really have a flavor, and that's the whole problem I have with it. And there's so much.
Wait, she says it needs artificial flavor?
Basil. Basil is such a potent. It's such a potent herb. Basil is very strong. It's one of those things that.
It's like oregano. I have Italian seasoning, and it's strong, but I don't know what I'm smelling in it. I'm just like, whoo.
If you're doing it right, we're gonna be able to tell. Now I can taste the basil.
But it's not that bad. Like if you, I think you're supposed to cook it in like olive oil at the beginning of the cooking process, and then it blooms or some shit, and then it kind of melds in with everything good. But if you were to just throw that on top of something, you'd be like, ah! I would gag probably.
Basil. The cheese did not melt in these. The pasta is just, it's not real. I don't know what it is, but it ain't real.
Two different kinds of
Very dry,
basil.
very bland. I'll never buy that again. I'm gonna focus on the mushrooms because I don't really like that. It's not their fault. I just like real food. Y'all know I love me a good.
That's why I titled the stream this. Because people be like, ah, why are you covering Brooke? And I'm like, dude, I've been over it too many times.
vegetable plate. You know what you're getting. How do you fuck up vegetables? I mean, if you're an idiot and don't know how to cook, sure, but you know what I mean? You know what you're getting.
Brooke is a master chef.
Where's that other one I bought? It was cold like 2 hours ago. I bet it ain't now. I gotta wash dishes. This is my dishwashing water. I gotta get water. Shit. I forgot. I gotta do all. Oh, juicy sweat cream. Let's wash the dishes on top of that. Welcome to camping. But did you die?
Just
You
using
ain't gonna
Dawn.
die from no butt
She's using Dawn to wash her dishes like a normal person would.
sweat, okay?
I'm mildly impressed. Doesn't take much to impress me, apparently.
I mean, maybe. Listen, these girls out here nowadays, you might, honey, you might. Be careful. But not mine.
Hey, Kelly.
Ah! That shit's wild. Who was it? Oh, it was, who was we talking about this morning? Oh, Nick Carter. Nick Carter from the Backstreet Boys.
She's
Y'all get them
distracted by
feral
birds.
birds. As long as you don't feed them, you'll be fine. But if you feed them, that's your fault. You're being chased by a flock of birds, okay? We told you not to feed them. They got signs posted. The ones out here, they like to come out here. The fishermen will throw the heads out because they like come off the ocean with their boats and they have fish. And there's a fish cleaning place out here so they can clean their fish. And some of them throw the heads out there, which is fine. But the birds are pretty chill out here. You don't really see them going crazy unless it's table food. If it's fish, they're pretty docile if it's fish. But if it's anything like chips, something sweet, they get them wires in their brain cross-wired, honey, and they start going psychos and they just flock. It'll be 100 of them out there attacking a family for some damn tortilla chips. That's why they tell you don't feed the birds. But
Tortilla chips are sweet?
if it's fish, it's one thing. I think these out here, they go pretty crazy, but it's awesome to watch. They're pretty domesticated out here. You don't have to fear for your life.
I hate it when the DA stalks me.
You're like, fear for your life from birds, bro? Listen, did you never see that movie from the 80s called Birds, where all the birds went psycho and tried to kill everybody in the hood? I mean, it wasn't the hood.
Everybody in the hood. I have not seen Birds, and I've not seen The Fly. I want to see Birds and The Fly. I want to see a lot of things. I don't know. I don't get around to watching anything apparently.
It was the birds, but they tried to kill the whole neighborhood. Okay? They tried to kill the whole neighborhood. That movie terrifies me.
With the trolls and the milk? Gremlins?
So now
That was water.
I'm a little extreme. When I think about people feeding the birds, I think about them flying into my truck windows trying to beak my throat, you know? It was a crazy movie. Was that a Hitchcock?
Birds aren't real, you guys.
I don't know. But I'm pretty sure it's called The Bird. This is so good, y'all. The mushrooms was my favorite. I'll never get that sauce again. I'm a self-proclaimed goober. Alright, let's get on for real, man. It ain't gotta be perfect. Because nobody is, okay? I need cleaning wipes. Where did they all go? I know I ain't went through both of those packs of weights this week. We just bought them the other day. So either I've dropped weights out on the ground somewhere, which is likely. I actually drop crap out of the car all the time. I lost a whole camping bag sleeping set that was inflatable. You were supposed to be able to use it in your truck with your truck, like it's for the second rows of seats in a truck. You were supposed to be able to inflate it, and it had this pop-up leg that would inflate.
She dropped weights out of her truck? I had to go back and read, because I heard lights. I don't know what kind of lights are dropping out of her truck. That's bad. How would that even happen?
It came from Amazon. Do you know I never even used it once? Somehow, it dropped out the back seat, and this is when I had my Nissan, not this truck, a different truck. It was years ago. Somehow, I guess I opened the back door or something, and when I go to close the back door, it like rolled out somewhere. I bought it. It was like $60, and I never saw it again. I threw it in the back seat, and I never saw it again. It grew legs and walked away. It grew legs. It walked away. Never to be seen again. You know, it's okay. At least my dad didn't do that to me, you know.
Your dad was evil, apparently. It would have been better if he just, like, went away for a pack of smokes and never came back, apparently.
We definitely need to give this a deep clean soon.
She's such a weird person, dude.
I'm gonna polish up my silver so I can brush my hair tonight, like the Little Mermaid.
I called that. I was like, does she brush her hair with the fucking fork? Because she has her fork in with all of her beauty stuff.
Kinda not. I've kinda turned into the Little Mermaid. We discovered that I'm a redhead.
You're not a mermaid, though. And you don't shut the fuck up. The Little Mermaid didn't have a voice.
I'm always on the darn beach somewhere.
Turn into the Little Mermaid, my ass. I wish she would turn into the Little Mermaid.
I am Ariel, looking for her prince. You know what I mean? Bam, I done turned into the Little Mermaid with legs. Always talking to myself and my wild animal. I have no friends, just animals. The ocean. I'm joking, I got friends. I love my friends.
Ah, the wind.
On my teeth. Note to self, never eat mushrooms on a date.
First not going on a date.
In your teeth. Ain't never. Y'all wasn't gonna tell me that I done turned into damn black tooth over here? I sure did. Like I've been eating Oreos. Shiitake mushroom. Wasn't those shiitakes? You made me smarter, Lord, because I can't try. Hold on, what was it? I'm gonna put it on the t-shirt.
God damn.
What is that? Excuse me. These are Lysol wipes that I love. They take, whatchamacallit, Make sure I ain't got no coffee on here. Oh, that was good.
Hey, listen!
I don't even think I bought gas like when I was damn in drug addiction. Like it was always, just there. That was 2019 for you. You didn't have to worry about how you were going to get gas.
At Jared_based super chatted $5. We were discussing Ernest P. Worrell, Jim Varney, in the chat, because Brooke says, you know what I mean, a lot. Which Ernest movie was your favorite?
Thank you for the 5, Jared. I don't really know Ernest. I think I saw one Ernest movie drunk. I think it was the Halloween movie. But I literally don't remember anything from it. I can picture his face.
Jill, I need to do laundry again. I was supposed to do that today too, so I didn't have to worry about it this weekend. But what the hell is that? What's that? Tote. Oh shit, that's last night's trash.
That's right, gas was free in 2019.
Oh my god.
What a year to be alive.
God, my abs are starting to come out from all this running. I got a good pump
The summer
today.
camp one? Ernest goes to
Arm
summer
day
camp.
At the gym tonight. Oh, I'm waiting for him to not be busy so I can get in there and have the damn place to myself. Cause everybody gonna be out partying and I ain't.
It's Easter. Why would they be partying?
We're at home.
It's not Easter right now, but I think during this time it's Easter because the next stream is Brooke is talking about Jesus. Happy Easter, y'all.
With their children.
I've never known anyone to be like, you coming to the Easter party? Or, oh man, I'm so hungover from the Easter party.
I'm gonna be in the gym, getting ripped, turning into a turtle. The 5th Ninja Turtle. Brooke Angelo. I like it. You like the ring? Me too. I think it's classic. Sounds like I got a brother named D'Angelo. Or Michelangelo. Brooke Angelo. Alright, let's close this tailgate up. See, and you can never see that my butt sweat was there. I'm joking. And it was thigh sweat. Shut up. It ain't that bad. I clean it every once in a while. We just cleaned it. It's fine.
Cleaned your ass?
A little sweaty. Oh, a little thigh sweat. Little thigh sweat never hurt nobody. Too scared of thigh sweat. You're too young for me. Oh! Alright, y'all ready? What do we need? Water! What did I forget? Water! I sure did.
I didn't even notice that. Parking in the trailer parking only area.
I sure did.
Brooke's not a trailer.
That's why I need you, to get in the car with me. Hitchcock, was that a Hitchcock film? Okay. That's crazy that I got that. I don't know why I thought that was... Yeah, I said that the last time I was talking about that movie. Yeah, crazy. That's the kind of stuff that I watched as a kid. Cujo. Y'all remember Cujo? Wasn't that Stephen King?
I know Cujo, the hockey player. He played for the Leafs and no one liked him. And he would stack his pads. Goalie pads? Like, I don't know. He's a weird goalie. Curtis Joseph.
I don't know why my grandma let me
Do you guys know who Curtis Joseph is?
watch stuff like... Probably because my parents had me so damn sheltered. My grandma is probably the reason I'm alive today. She's the only one that kept it real with me in the entire family. She treated me probably more like a friend. I mean, yeah, she probably treated me too much like a friend. But she was a very kind woman. But she was also, I don't know, the type of woman that would snatch your kid up and give him a spanking. Like the neighbor's kid, fam. That's not my sibling. What are you doing, Grandma? Let that little, release that boy. He is not part of our family, Mom. What are you doing? She sure did. She whooped his ass under a maple tree. He was picking on my brother. And he was a known bully in the neighborhood. And my grandma yoked him up, bent him over her knee, and spanked him in front of the whole neighborhood.
So, abusing kids is in the family.
Nowadays, you'd go to jail for shit like that. But back in the day, I
It's a generational thing, apparently.
don't know if they just knew that my grandma was a hard ass, or I don't know what. She never got in no trouble. The cops, she never got in no trouble for that. Could you imagine if you spanked somebody else's kid in public? She did it in front of the whole neighborhood. The whole apartment complex saw it. Everybody was on their balconies watching. I'm laughing now because he needed that ass whooping. He did. He did. He really did. He was mean. He bullied everybody. He was a problem in the neighborhood. He would just run the streets. And my grandma had enough of it, man. She was sick of seeing this kid wreak havoc on the neighborhood. Now, is that right? Did she
How come Brooke was able to wreak havoc on the neighborhood then?
have any right to do that? Absolutely not. She should have went to jail. But this was the 90s, and she did not go to jail. What a gangster.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna die by now, but he's still alive. He's 20 years old.
What a gangster. She said, I don't give a shit if I go to jail. This little shithead gonna learn today. That was an epic memory, man.
An epic memory of my grandma abusing some kid
Like, and
that
then
wasn't hers.
you're a kid that sees this. You think you're gonna go to school and tell anybody that you're getting beat at home when your family is out here yoking up other kids that ain't even part of the family and spanking them in public? Yeah, no. And my grandma never really beat on me like that, but she did beat on my siblings, and it bothers me to this day that she was so violent towards them, you know?
Brooke has told us that she was her grandma's favorite.
So, I don't know.
And then no one believed Brooke's bullshit except her grandma.
Yeah. My family was a little, they was a little crazy. I think if somebody ever yoked my kid up and did that to them, I'd be pretty pissed. I know that they going to jail, or either I am. So one of us is going to jail. One of us is going to jail, you know what I mean? So, I'm actually surprised she didn't have no problems after she spanked that child like that. She's like, whack, whack, whack. The whole neighborhood was like, never forget it. I'll never forget it. The whole neighborhood. I mean, you could have heard a pin drop. Cars were stopping. Babies stopped crying. Birds stopped flying. You could have heard a pin drop. And the apartment that she was in was like front and center to all the other apartment complexes. So everybody saw her yank that kid up and spank his ass out there. People were coming out of their houses to watch. It was crazy.
It was a big event.
It was crazy. I think back on that and I'm like, Lord have mercy, I do come from a different time. I mean, it wasn't that long ago that everybody got it like that. If you grew up in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and early 90s, you was probably getting your ass beat. It's just the way things was.
Just spanned it like 4 decades there, but okay. Yeah, in a half a century, I'm sure someone got their ass kicked. She grew up in the mountains, right? The Appalachian Mountains.
I might be wrong about that, but I feel like it was, you know, the corporal punishment was used a lot more back then than any in comparison today. Yeah. I know my mama got it. I know I got it. But yeah, grandma should have went to jail.
I'm glad she acknowledges that because Brooke threatened to kill kids and wanted to kill them. But somehow she doesn't think she belongs in jail.
But somehow
Her grandma does for spanking a kid, though.
she didn't. I think that that's where probably my defense of other people came from, is watching her defend with such vigor, passion. When she loved somebody, she loved them. There wasn't no funny business. There was no games. There was no conditions. There was no... It was just simple, pure love. The only love I really felt from my childhood was from my grandma. She was my best friend.
See, there we go.
But God, the other end of that was complete psycho.
That's right.
She could get rowdy. But you know, it was usually in the defense of one of the youngins. I don't know. My mom was the same way. I'll never forget this one time this teacher grabbed me in front of my mom. Apparently, I had done something in class. I was probably...
Oh, I know this story. Have I seen this part of the stream somewhere in my life?
In the 2nd grade. I think I was going to M. Holt or Alexander Wilson. I don't remember which one that is. It's off of Highway 54. And so I was in elementary school. I was probably 2nd, 3rd grade the most. And
I don't remember the name of the school. Might be able to find some information with that.
It was after I'd already been taken from my parents once. They put me in a foster home.
By 2nd grade?
And then the state gave me back to my parents, and then I started at this school. And I had done something in class. I had a lot of behavioral problems because I was being sexually molested by my biological father. My stepfather and mother were physically abusing me. So it was a lot. I had a lot of behavioral problems because of that, and that's the main reason I talk about these things, because I know what I'm talking about, because I was that child. So my mother shows up at the school. The teacher is mad. She wants to have a meeting with my mom. She asked my mom to get out of the car, park the car, because my mom was in the car riding line. And so my mom parked the car, and she walks up, and the teacher is literally, my mom, I don't remember what happened. I don't remember what was said. All I remember is the teacher grabbing my wrist forcefully and pulling me towards her, trying to prevent my mother from walking out of there with me. And my mother slapped that bitch.
Hey, listen! You're a horrible father.
At El Chancio 2741 super chatted $3.59. It's not in the public interest to give you back to the family who was sexually assaulting you. Why would the state do that? Each time it's more sobs.
A lot of her stuff doesn't really make sense. I mean, sometimes the state drops the ball and stuff, right? I don't have a lot of faith in the justice system, but yeah, that's questions to be asked. Thank you for the 5 chance. Thank you for gifting a membership, Betty Davis Eyes. Welcome. Deanna Bear? Being a good little angel.
The hand, but it was hard.
Deanna Barr. What am I doing? My eyes can't read.
Hard, honey. Everybody stop. Everybody heard it and stop. And look. She did. She said, wham! Right on her hand where she was holding onto my wrist so tightly. Times was different back then. My mama didn't get in no trouble for that. As she shouldn't. That teacher shouldn't have been grabbing me. And that teacher was a fucking bully towards a child.
Just full of bullies. Everyone's bullying Brooke.
I know exactly who that teacher was. Y'all think these perverted teachers out here are the first teachers in the history of mankind that were pieces of shit? I saw a report that with 300 teachers were arrested for molestation last year. Female teachers, perverts, over 300 just last year. Back in the day, they were little bullies. I had a lot of teachers that bullied me, mistreated me, made me feel like I was stupid because they didn't want to take the time to do their fucking job. Imagine that. And then I grow up talking about people. Why do you think I got a problem with people that don't want to do their fucking job? I've been dealing with it my whole life. If you don't want to be respectful to every student and treat every student with the same respect, don't be a teacher. And so many of them nowadays are perverts. It's like it's the new female line of pedophilia. Become a school teacher.
I thought you were going to talk about male teachers. Female teachers?
It's weird. But no, my mother didn't face any repercussions for hitting that teacher. Times was different back then. I kind of miss those kind of times. I don't think we'll ever go back to that.
Raised with wolves, yeah.
I don't remember what I did. I mean, she needed to talk to my mama every day because I was, the problem.
Gee, wait, thank you for that flow state.
It was one of those those things that even as a kid, if somebody did something to me, put their hands on me, and then I defended myself, somehow I was still in trouble. Every single fucking time. I don't understand that. It's like they've had it out for me since I was born. And it don't help if
The wolves taught her how to cut her hair.
you're in foster care or a group home. Oh God, honey. You're gonna get it 10 ways till Sunday if they don't like you. But it's okay. I'm an expert at being defiant and going against the grain.
I'm an expert at being defiant. Yeah, I'd say that.
And being a decent fucking human.
Oh, this is the rules? I'm not even gonna question why this is a rule. I'm gonna fucking disobey it.
I don't know. I read something where they were talking about everyone that's ever did anything great had a ton of haters. They were trying to pull them down and tell them that they couldn't, and
Yeah, that's a cope. You're not doing anything. You drive around and bitch.
they were negative. Everyone that's ever done anything that's amazing and great and good, they were hated from the start, especially truth tellers. People that tell the truth, people that don't give a, people that don't give one. You know, they call Kanye crazy, but people don't realize what happened
Kanye West is crazy.
to Kanye. Kanye is actually lucky to even be semi-freaking sane.
Hey, MZR.
What they-
I'm sorry. Hopefully it gets better.
They medically did to him
Why
is
is my pause
crazy, and
button delayed?
it's the same thing that happened to me in hospital. They put me on Xanax. You go to ask for help, and then before you know it, you're being held against your fucking will. They're stuffing you full of drugs, tying you down to a damn gurney, trying to stick stuff up your butt. You're like,
What? Stick stuff up your butt. If they held you against your will, it would make me think that you were being crazy. And that what's the whole time? It's different for different places, but it's sometimes 48 hours. Like I've seen Mark get held for 48 hours. I think Heather Gillespie got held for 5 to 7 days. Shani got held for, I think, 7 days, right? Or Jason. Anyways, it makes me think that there was reason to probably do that. And they did try to help you. Professionals said that you were probably need to be on Xanax, and you just disagree with that. And I feel like a broken record, but she just circled in crayon, red crayon, a whole bunch of stuff in Ben Shapiro's book and shoved it in their face, and she says that's the reason that they let her out.
like, what is going on? I just had a little
Exactly, Westman. Ben Shapiro book to the rescue.
depression. Does it warrant all of this medical malpractice going on around me? They drugged Kanye. That's why he's half crazy. Allegedly.
Yeah, I'm sure Kanye has never done any drugs by his own choice. Like,
And now I feel kind of bad for him, even though he's clearly a narcissist.
uh-huh.
I kind of feel bad for him, knowing what they did to him medically. Stuffing him full of drugs, holding him against his will. I mean, they almost killed him, allegedly. I was reading into a little bit about
Hey,
this.
listen.
This whole country is turned upside down. We're living in the ass backwards right now. We are truly living in the ass backwards. It's just crazy. We are living in the ass backwards. We're living in the ass backwards. It's just like, Jesus Christ. We're living in the ass backwards.
At El Chancio 2741 super chatted $7.17. I survived residential school intergenerational trauma, the foster system since my youth, and all while living with CPTSD. I don't get how she has so many excuses for her behavior. Honestly disgusting.
Well, thank you for the 10 on chance. Yeah, I'm sorry I had to go through all that. See, like, Brooke I don't even know if half of the stuff she says she actually went through. She just uses it as an excuse as to why she can do whatever she wants and everything she does is right. Because she feels like she's earned it because she was abused, but that's not how that works, I don't know. And people who've actually gone through that stuff have usually a better attitude about it like that. So, again, I'm sorry I had to go through that.
What sparked my interest was Candace Owens. God, she has been on fire lately. I'm so jealous. If I'm jealous of anybody, it's her success. She's an amazing woman, great mother. She has the all-American, girl next door, beautiful look, and success story. She's done very well for herself. I respect Candace a lot. But I heard her talking about why she respects Kanye, and that was wild to me. I was like, whoa, wait a second. He's an abuser. He's crazy. The same thing they said about Kat and Jaguar, right, and me. Anyone that's ever told the truth constantly.
Heather Gillespie went to some not boarding school, some like boot camp shit thing in Jamaica. I don't think Heather Gillespie was ever in foster care though. Brooke claims to have been in foster care like 2 or 3 times.
Instantly, they try to make out to be crazy. They did the same thing. Look at Justin Bieber right now. He can't even speak. What did they do to him? What did they do to Justin? I think we all have a good idea. Remember, he spent 48 hours at P. Diddy's house. I hope P. Diddy gets shanked in jail. I don't even want to go through a trial. He deserves the death penalty. I
think P. Diddy got out, didn't he? Which is concerning, I guess.
To get shanked in jail. He deserves to die. Plain and simple. He's harmed so many freaking people. That video of him whooping Cassie's ass, that's enough for me. If you know that if I was to, if
P. Diddy beat up a woman, I didn't even know that.
If I would have been there, I would have got beat too, because I would have been up in it.
Did he got 6 years? I heard he got off or something. I have not been paying attention to that. I am not the mainstream news guy. I'm the obscure internet hobo guy. So I had I'm glad he got something.
Don't let me see you out here putting your hands on a woman or man. And that goes for women too. Don't let me see you out here beating on your boyfriend.
I could have sworn maybe I dreamt this. A whole bunch of people in chat were like, they let him out. He didn't get any jail time. He got away with everything. And I was like, what? And I was like, that's crazy. And then I never thought about it again until now.
What is wrong with you? Crazy. They're crazy. I can't help it, especially if there's a child involved. Oh my God, I gotta call 911 at the very least. They out here trying to kill themselves in front of their children. You need to send somebody over here. No, but for real, Candace has been on fire, and allegedly I heard her talk about Kanye, and she said some medical stuff, and then I started digging into it, and it seems like he's been very vocal about what happened to him, and everybody has just wrote him off as crazy. Wrote him off as crazy. Poor Kanye. Poor little Tink Tink.
Poor little what? Tink Tink?
Disqualified because he told the truth too much. And I know he ain't perfect. We all ain't perfect. We all struggle.
Oh God, I gotta open up my... Oh, I can do it from my phone. Fucking growers. You shut the fuck up, growers.
But when I was reading a little bit about it, I was like, whoa, wait a second. This happened to me, remember? Y'all were with me. I filmed the whole thing. I went missing for a week, remember? Because they held me against my will. When I already had a diagnosis. They were just trying to make money.
I think Brooke was just trying to, I don't know, have something on paper to bring to court to show that Randy made her go crazy. So she wanted to sue him or something. This was during the times that Randy and Brooke were suing each other. And I think this is right after Randy sued her. And she was like, what? What? And she called it betrayal trauma. Yeah, betrayal trauma. And then went to this mental health place where they gave her Xanax. And then she yaps about it. She's been yapping about it. That's what she's yapping about right now.
CPTSD, remember? Did I say I was going to get water? I'm going to get water after I work out. Where's my phone?
Just put my phone down, man.
Jaws. That was a good one. I ain't seen that in forever. Nuns were brutal. I believe it. They probably had that, like, no BS attitude, tough love.
Jesus is coming soon. You guys have the cringiest fucking names, bro.
Probably beat the hell out of you with rulers.
Go suck on Jesus's cock some more.
Let's see.
I can do whatever I want because Jesus loves me. Mm-hmm. I'm sure that's exactly what Jesus said, didn't he?
Okay, so it looks like back in November of 2016, Kanye West was hospitalized for a, quote, psychiatric emergency at the UCLA Medical Center. First of all, that is probably one of the worst hospitals in the nation. That
Really? Have you been to that one? Is that the one that she went to? George, thank you for gifting a membership. Welcome, Jay White, to being Good Little Angel again.
You could go to the most woke hospital where they are all about making money. They don't care about medical malpractice. They're cutting off penises and little girls' boobs, okay? This is
What?
UCLA. It says that this is California, need I say more? This is the worst place to get medical care. They're so freaking woke, they don't put patient care first. They put money first. We just saw the mutilation of children across the board. He was reportedly suffering. They said he had erratic behavior and exhaustion. He was reportedly suffering from sleep deprivation and was placed on an involuntary, what did I say?
No, they get the Romans guy. He had a J in his name, so I went to his channel to see what the J stood for. And it stood for Jesus is coming soon, because all these fucking crackpots are super religious. And they think it's like G-Man. He hides behind religion to do bad shit. Like, they're all like that, I swear to God.
That's what they do.
They're not just like nice Christians. They're like fucking extremists that hide behind religion to be like, I'm a good person.
You go, you ask for help. You say, hey, I have a little bit of depression. I'm not feeling good. I suffer from CPTSD. I just become homeless. And they're like, they lock the doors. And then they start giving you Xanax and all kinds of other psychiatric medication. You turn into a guinea pig and you don't even know it. I did not even know where I was for 5 days. I was not coherent. I blacked out from the Xanax. I had a seizure. I could have died. I'm in recovery.
She was probably super chill for those 5 days. Like fucking sedated, just like, wow, it's really quiet in here. And then she came to and it's like, get her the fuck out. Just put her back in the truck.
The last thing that you ever give someone who is in recovery for heroin is Xanax. If I had money, technically I could sue the shit out of them if I had money. Yep. Because it says on my chart that I've been diagnosed with CPTSD. They didn't even pull my medical files. They didn't call my therapist. I have a therapist that I see every week. I also have a clinical psychologist. I tried.
Yeah, but if you come in and it looks like you're just having a mental break or a nervous breakdown, there might be different protocol for that regardless of your medical history. I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
To give the hospital, this was UNC Chapel Hill, one of the best hospitals in the country, right? No, one of the most woke hospitals on the East Coast. They have sold their souls for money. It used to be a phenomenal hospital, but UNC Chapel Hill is a shithole now. And not just because of their mental health department, but because of a multitude of reasons. We've been over this. We've covered Chapel Hill and stuff time and time again. Probably keep talking about because they're horrible. But it said on my paperwork, they didn't even try to get in touch with my therapist. When I finally got out,
Is that normal for a hospital to like be like, all right, just sit here and wait while you go crazy? We're gonna get in contact with your therapist, who knows what the fuck their schedule is, and have a whole discussion about your history before we do anything. I don't think that's a thing. I really don't.
I finally came to and got out. My therapist said they never called. Not once. They didn't even try to get...
Love Chrissy. How's it going, Love Chrissy?
My records. They didn't try to find out any of my medical history. They didn't try to... Nothing. And they immediately put me on Xanax when I come through the door. And apparently it sounds like this is what happened to Kanye. Sounds like he was dehydrated.
Brooke and Kanye are so alike, you guys.
He was erratic. That was probably mania. Allegedly. And exhaustion. So he went to the hospital, to the psychiatric department, from exhaustion, erratic behavior, and he was suffering from sleep deprivation and was placed on an involuntary psychiatric hold. Sleep deprivation, erratic behavior. Sounds like mania. Doing a lot of assuming here. The hospitalization followed a series of events, including... Oh, that was the concert where he ended up abruptly ranting for like an hour. Remember that? Let's see here. Let's see what happened. I want to hear what he says. He said he recalls being handcuffed, drugged. Yep, sounds about right, buddy. Welcome to mental health services in the great...
Sounds like he was arrested and then they did a mental health evaluation on him or something.
States of the United. Kanye West is opening up about his struggle with mental health.
And like, I don't know. I try to be empathetic. I wouldn't want to be forced to do any drug that I didn't want to do, you know what I mean? So I'm glad I'm not crazy. I probably am crazy. I'm just better at masking it, or at least being functional in society without losing my shit so much that I get handcuffed and drugs shoved down my throat or whatever. And I wasn't such a problem child in school that they did that either. So I don't know. I get what she's saying, but at the same time, if they keep telling you need Xanax, maybe you need Xanax, man.
So it looks like he was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. And with bipolar disorder, you're going to get mania. After being placed on an involuntary psychiatric hold in November of 2016, he pointed out the stigma associated with mental illness, and he shared what happened to him during a manic episode. Trying to figure out what they did to him, and I still can't figure it out.
It's a lot of words.
Weird. I'm gonna have to do some digging and get back to y'all.
Hey, Vegas. I didn't even do anything yesterday. I played video games on members only, and then I didn't come back. It was a nice day. They said it's gonna rain, but it didn't rain, so I was just like chilling outside, looking at rain clouds swoop by. Now it's raining. It's raining all day today.
Got sand everywhere. Damn, do I even have any clean clothes to put on when I come out the shower? How cold? Oh, it's gonna be hot tonight. I don't know, y'all. I know that I saw like 6 videos and I can't remember nothing from them. And I think these are old articles. He's since come out and described this experience as a horrible one. So, I don't know. It's crazy. I need to get my clothes together, but I'm like so far in this rabbit hole, I want to know. I want to know. Hello. Oh, we've had a busy day on the beach. How many steps did we... My head is pounding. It's this bra. This is bra. I'm not wearing it anymore. I look like a stuffed sausage in it anyways. Because I'm 22,762. Oh, God. Do I feel like doing arms? No. Not at all, actually. Can you go in there and do them for me? I need my front delts, my side delts, my traps, my lats. Oh, gosh. I need to get it together. Get it together. Get it together. What's
That deck guy can stay.
I gotta see what the weather's gonna be tonight so I know what to wear coming out of the gym because I'm going to bed. I might actually hang out
Anna.
here in the sauna for like an hour.
How's it going?
Weather. That says 62 now, but I don't believe that. I gotta recheck. And that says 70. What the flip? That's what I'm gonna do. As soon as I get paid, 21st, I'm gonna give me some nicotine patches and I'm gonna stick to it.
She doesn't. She never quits vaping.
I feel better when I don't smoke. I think that's really what's making me sick. I think it's the nicotine. I really do. It's not good for you. Especially not them pods. You don't even know what that is. It's synthetic. For all I know, that's monkey piss.
Monkey piss?
I'm over here smoking monkey hallucinogenics for all I know. No wonder I feel bad. It's synthetic. It's not,
The fuck?
you know, it's man-made trash. Of course it makes me feel bad. The more I smoke it, the more my head hurts. You know what I mean? And I know that. But, you know, when your parents were damn hot boxing the trailer from infancy until you left home, it kind of ain't your damn fault. I don't know why people don't talk about that. We know that secondhand smoke is worse than firsthand smoke. So if we realize that, The smoke that is lingering.
This bothers me so much with Brooke. I don't understand why she thinks that secondhand smoke is worse than literally smoking. She believes this. It's just common sense. Just think about it. Smoke being in the air, kind of, with the same air that you're breathing in, just a little bit, that's already been filtered through someone else's lungs and shit, is worse than putting a fucking cigarette up to your face and breathing it in directly. That's what Brooke is saying. She says it's scientifically proven. She's on some, who the fuck was that guy? There is some director guy who was all anti-smoking back in the 2000s or 90s, and Rob Reiner. He's just being a Rob Reiner right now.
In the air. That is worse than smoking a cigarette, apparently. If we know that, do we not have any empathy for the people that their parents put them in a horrible situation? Most of these children that are like me, that, you know, grew up in a hot box environment with cigarette smoke, a lot of those children had behavioral problems, ADHD. Yeah.
AC/DC.
You know why? Let me tell you. Because they'd go to school and they'd be nicking for a cigarette. When your environment is smoke 24/7 and you are inhaling that shit, you are getting a nicotine high. And then you go to school, you start showing your ass, being
Roll the clips? Which clips?
the problem child. It's because you're nicking. If I go 20 minutes without this, I'm losing my mind.
For the trolls, that's just like usual suspects, honey. I don't know. That's just a guy that I blocked. They keep coming back in on different accounts.
It's kind of sad that people don't realize this.
He already knows. He's just being him.
But people don't want to trust science either, because then they'd have to change their behavior. Then they'd have to go smoke outside and not smoke around their children. My parents did me so dirty. Both of them chain smoked like a damn freight train. They'd go through 2 damn cartons of cigarettes a week almost.
Do freight trains smoke?
Ashtrays be full. Walk through the living room and have to damn.
Like the Polar Express train, I guess. They're throwing coal or What the heck? Okay, so the crackhead in my brain, I was like, what's that show called with the tank engines? It's Thomas the Tank Engine. The fucking crackhead in my brain was like Cowboy Tinkerbell, and that's not the name of the show. I don't know what the fuck that was, my brain.
Wolf the smoke away, like waft it away, like sun shining through the blinds, you can just see the smoke.
See? Same guy.
Smoke settling in the house. And I've always been a smoker, as far back as I can remember.
I don't know what he's gonna say when it's proven in a court of law, but you know, whatever.
I
It's my United States of whatever.
remember stealing cigarettes somewhere between young and young, going out in the woods and smoking them. Hell, I could smoke them in the house. They wouldn't even know because the whole house is already filled with smoke. I think I started getting cigarettes when I started working, so I was probably about 14, 15. I'd always have a pack of them. And then they caught me with a pack. I had some Newports. I think I was about 15.
Newports? Those are the ones without the filter, right? She was smoking Newports as a teenager?
16? 16. I was 16. I had to be about 16. Because I was working at Sonic. I was 16. And, I always had cigarettes. They caught me with Newports. And I remember when they sat me down in the living room, they both lit a cigarette, and my dad's like, in my face, bitching at me about having cigarettes, and they both sitting there chain smoking. The freaking irony. What hypocrites. They were the biggest hypocrites that ever walked the earth. I
remember getting lectured drunk by my friend's parents while they were drunk, which was just like ironic and a mess about being drunk too much.
My mother, but God, was she a hypocrite, and she always cared too much about what people thought about her. It to the point that it strangled her. She lived in fear because of what society would think. How sad to not be able to live your life, not be happy because you care what others think too much. She's kind of a prisoner over that, you know. It kept her in shackles. trying to keep up with the Joneses. Yeah, she was kind of a slave to that, caring what people thought too much. I always, was angry at her for that, because I'm the complete opposite. Who cares what them people think, Mama? They don't know me. They don't know you. Like, who cares?
Jay, you ask the same question every day. You're getting hidden.
People gonna come and go, Mama. I mean, I couldn't say that. She'd pop
My favorite button, honey.
in the mouth, but I always thought it. Why do you think I can't shut up now? They never let me talk. We weren't allowed to talk in our house. Hell no. And if you had an opinion or a feeling, well, you can go to your room, you can ball it up, and you can shove it up your ass. That's what you can do with that. Yeah. Even trying to open your mouth in my house would get you popped.
I learned it from you.
Yeah, that was crazy. Or at the very least, grounded. Go to your fucking room. I don't want to hear your fucking mouth. I'm trying to watch TV. I don't know. They were abusive, and I think a lot of us grew up with abusive parents, and we've gaslit ourselves into thinking that it was kind of normal.
Like that Blink-182 song. Well, I guess this is growing up.
I mean, it was normal to us because we grew up in that environment, but it is not normal. It is not normal. And I knew it from a child. I knew it the first time that DSS took me. I knew that something wasn't right in the house. I knew it.
You said that they took you because you told your grandma that your dad was doing bad things and that she was the only one who believed you, and then they got involved and took you. So what do you mean you didn't know what was going on? You knew what was going on.
Probably because of the Word of God. You sent me to church every Sunday with my grandma so I can learn about, loving my brothers and sisters.
Amanda, thank you for the star.
And then I get home and get beat by my parents. It just didn't make sense. I just knew something wasn't right. And then when they finally took me at I think I was pretty young, y'all. The more that I think back on it, I think I was younger than 7 or 8. I think I was probably 6, maybe 7, the first time they took me. I really want to get those medical records one day. I'd really like to just look over them and see what the doctors wrote, see what the nurses wrote.
She just stews and stuff. I bet you if she had some kind of career, even if it wasn't even a real career, even if it was just like some fucking part-time job somewhere, at least she'd be busy enough that she wouldn't just sit and stew and all this crap and talk about it all day. You know what I mean? She needs a hobby. Even a hobby. Go fucking learn how to fly a kite or something, bro.
See, maybe get records from social services and see what they wrote, because I always had a caseworker, because DSS is the one that kept taking me from my family. So, part of it was
I forgot about the paralegal mom.
Behavioral issues, and the other part was abuse. I didn't know that until I think I was probably about 16 or 17. My mama told me the first time they took me was because of alleged abuse. So, there was a lot going on. Maternal deprivation was one of the things that I think set me on a bad trajectory, is my mother not bonding with me and ignoring me for probably the first 2 to 4 years of my life. Me and my mother was never close. We had a lot of disconnect. We didn't never talk like we should have talked. I mean, it wasn't that I didn't want to. It was that she wasn't open to it. And so she had attachment issues, in my opinion. And that's probably why I have attachment issues now. But I have a lot of reason to believe that the first 2 years that she was with my biological father, he was an alcoholic. I have a lot of reason to believe that I was ignored. I was probably put in a playpen and just ignored.
She doesn't know, though. She just assumes stuff. And the allegation against her father, she doesn't know either. She's just like, looking back on it, I think maybe? I don't know. It's so fucking weird. I feel like you should know, right?
Maternal deprivation causes specific behavioral patterns in children that have experienced maternal deprivation. And I had every single son. So knowing what I know about my behavioral problems as a child can create a picture of what that environment was like with my mother the first few years of life. Children who come from loving, caring, stable homes don't go to school fighting everybody in sight. Children who lack a bond with their parental figures have experienced extreme maternal deprivation and witnessed her alcoholic father beating the hell out of her mother. That's where the behavioral problems start to happen, you know? That's something we would see in a child that's growing up in a very toxic, volatile relationship. And I know I was, because my mother left my father after she had one of my siblings 2 or 3 years later. But the first 2 years, I was the firstborn to a, 18-year-old mother and like a 20-year-old father who was a raging alcoholic.
So then her older brother, the one that's an incest, because she had him with like her mom and her mom's cousin had a kid, apparently, supposedly, before Brooke. So when did that happen? When she was like 16?
So they were living in this tinny trailer in the middle of damn BFE. And it was the 80s. Times was different. If you know, you know. If you know what I'm saying, like if you understand what I'm saying, then you know that you understand me. Thank you. Is all I'm saying. I mean, you know how things was back then. You know how lower income, when you were poor, it sometimes leads to a life of crime and a very sketchy lifestyle. We've talked about this before, how the lower income, we see a lot of a more criminal activity in certain lower income areas. There's a high level of crime poverty turns into crime, and crime leads back into poverty, and vice versa. It's kind of like the sad circle, I don't know. So I don't know. I think that my mother clearly was able to turn it around, but I think that there's a lot about the first 2 years of my life that I'll never know unless I read maybe some of them court documents, the papers, medical records. I can get that stuff. Maybe.
What do you mean, maybe? Yeah, she should. Yeah, she should be able to.
I don't know.
Okay, thank you for the flow state.
But yeah, they smoked in the house, and I
don't think it would be available to the public if, like, she's talking about the stuff that happened to her as a minor, because it's going to be redacted. But if she is the person in question, then I think she can get that, right?
Not been able to kick the habit. Please don't smoke in the house with your children. They are breathing that shit in, and it absolutely affects them. Absolutely, 100%. They are breathing it in. They are getting nicotine in their system. There's no debating this. This is a fact. If you are smoking in the house, your child is smoking with you.
I think she's better off locked up. At least she's like eating, and she has a place to sleep, and she doesn't have to worry about fighting people. I guess she's got to worry about fighting people in the jail. But she likes jail. At least that's where she's told us a bunch of times. I fare well behind bars, honey. That's what she said.
So that's good. At least not around here. And I don't think a lot of people smoke in their house if they do smoke. Well, not if they have any class. Who wants to be walking around smelling like that shit all day? Even when I smoked cigarettes, I did not smoke like that in the house. There was snow on the ground. Yeah, I'm going to the damn spare bathroom and running the fan. But
so you did smoke in the house.
I'm going outside. And it still sticks on you. You still bring it back into the damn house. I still ain't got my clothes. Y'all, I'm exhausted. I ain't going to be able to do arms. I'm going to sit in the sauna for 20 minutes and try to sweat off some of this whale blubber I got around my arms today. Maybe if I can sweat off some of the whale blubber, it'll look like I did arm day. Maybe it'll look like twice. Is that what it said, Shelby? Thank you for that information. You're like that little man in my brain that remembers stuff. You're twice. If you're twice as likely to get cancer from secondhand smoking cigarette, because the risk in half. True. I didn't know you were second. What did it say? You're twice as likely
How the fuck does that make sense either?
to get cancer from secondhand smoke.
No.
Jesus Christ, I believe you. I believe it because
Why do you believe it?
they say that secondhand smoke is worse for you than first. Probably, you know why? Probably because you're pulling in more of it. You're actually using it for oxygen.
Okay, you dumbass fucking lady. If you're smoking directly and you're blowing the smoke into the air, you're also breathing in the secondhand smoke while you're directly smoking. So if you're directly smoking, not only are you getting secondhand smoke, you're getting firsthand smoke, which would be worse. It would be worse. I don't know why this one bothers me so much, because it's so fucking obvious, I think. That's why. I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to go directly smoke to calm down.
So you're getting more of it. If it's lingering
You're not getting more of it.
in the air, every breath you take has nicotine induced in it, or insert big word there. It's entwined in it. You know what I mean? In your oxygen that you're taking in. So, I mean, it makes perfect sense to me scientifically. And you're going to be sitting there breathing it constantly. So you are getting, whew, honey, you're getting constant nicotine because you're breathing it in constant. That's probably why.
Just want to shake her.
Yeah, my parents did me dirty. They did me damn dirty. And then they busted me with cigarettes, and my dad's like, blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Like, are you serious right now? Y'all are the whole reason I smoke. Y'all are the whole reason I got to sneak around and get cigarettes. You know what I mean? Y'all caused this problem. And it's probably why I had behavioral problems in school, too. Shelby, you know, how long can you go out without a cigarette? I can go about 20 minutes to an hour, depending on where I'm at, the situation, if I got a nicotine patch on. You know, I mean, imagine sending a child who's
Because you're weak-willed, man.
been breathing in smoke all the time to school and then getting mad at them for having behavioral problems because they're nicking from cigarettes. They're going through withdrawals. That's what nicking is. They're going through withdrawals because their home is an environment where they're constantly breathing in nicotine, and then they go to school and they ain't breathing in no nicotine. So they jonesing for a cigarette up in class, and people expect them to learn. This happened to me. I look back on this and it's like, man, I was really kind of doomed from the start.
She's an idiot. I smoked cigarettes in high school. She's making it sound like it's heroin level addictions or some shit. It's just crazy.
My own parents, the teachers, social workers. Like, I was a child with no one in my corner, and it pisses me off. It really does. It pisses me off. I didn't have an advocate. It's crazy. They all kind of set me up for failure. I'm grateful now that I know how to read and write and do basic math, and that I know enough to get by, but thank God, because what if I didn't? I don't think I'd be where I'm at today if I didn't know how to read and write. I think my situation would be 10 times worse. And I'm half-assed illiterate when it comes to speaking. I barely speak English. I sound like a broken banjo half the time, making up my own words and jingles. Imagine if I didn't know how to read or write, you know? A lot of people don't.
Tobacco. Good old tobacco.
A lot of people don't. I had to find something to wear, man. Damn it, Bobby.
Thanks, Shadow. What a day. It's Sunday. I know, like the weekends, people usually have off work that should be at work, you know, doing whatever job, not saying opinions on the internet. Hey, loyalty.
Oh my God, y'all. Not in the front gym. The damn window cover's flying up. Just want something weird. Where's the bra? I need a bra. God, this bra's killing me. Where's that damn pink bra? Oh, damn it, Bobby. They'd never find nothing. Oh, my head. I had a migraine from hell. Probably this freaking bra. I'm gonna cut the damn straps off. I ain't even gonna try to get out of them. I'm just gonna snip the straps.
I don't feel like looking that up. And since this is your first time here, I'm just getting rid of you. It's a stupid thing to say for your first time here.
I'm joking. I'm going. One thing I need to do is plug up that fan before I go in, so tonight I'll have a fan that's charged.
Patty.
So that I don't burn up too much. Where's the... Thank you. I'll charge this. Oh God, I need a bra. Charge that. Hey, there's a shirt. Well, I still need a damn bra. At least you didn't like get sick from them or get addicted to them. You know what I mean? Some of y'all don't even realize y'all perverts with mental health problems.
But I mean, Brooke's kind of like a pervert with mental health problems.
Y'all don't even realize how inappropriate y'all are. Not all of y'all, just the ones that I blocked. Hey Keith. Hello. I'm about to head in this gym, sit in the sauna. Cut this bra off. God, why is it so tight? Because you're a smoked sausage with all this well blubber. Your thunder thighs. You lint liquor. Oh, God, I need water. I really do. I think the bras has been hurting my back and causing me migraines. So I got to find some kind of supportive tops. Next week, Monday, is a new color. We might go Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't know. But they'll have a different color next week. Their bras are only $2.99 anyways. If you can get those for half off plus your store discount, you can get those bras for 70, 80 cents, sometimes $1.50. New Balance, Victoria's Secret. I've seen Gymshark. I've seen literally everything you can think of in there.
You could just wear a baggy t-shirt, bro. No one would even notice.
It's crazy. You got to find the color of the week, though. They'll have a sign in there in Goodwill. It's crazy. But this was a little tight because I've been bulking. And I bought this, I think, like back in November when I was skinnier. I was 20 pounds lighter almost. No, not really 20. I'm about to go in here and step on the scale and see what I am. I was 136 at the start of the week. Or no, that was at the start of the gym membership. That was last week. I weighed myself. I ain't weighed myself since I have been working out. Alright, I'm going to shower. I'm going to sauna. And we'll talk.
Get out of here.
Happy Friday. We made it. We made it through the week, y'all.
We made it through this crazy stream that took 3 streams to get to.
Happy Friday.
Through.
Dinner was pretty good. The mushrooms, the pasta was trash. I'll never buy that again. I wouldn't recommend that, honestly. But the mushrooms were delicious. It's a great option for a single person. Just a perfect side amount, you know?
This is the jungle stream. This is when Brooke was in the jungle. This is the same stream. That's how long it took to get through this one. Because I was like, fucking 6 hours? I'm like, what else happened in this? That's what these streams are for, though, is getting through all the crap that I skipped over because I was like, I'm not watching any more of this in the past.
But I love you guys, and thank y'all for hanging out with me today. It's been a fantastic Friday.
Yeah, it feels like forever ago, right?
In the wilderness. We saw snakes. We saw squirrels. We had fun. It was lovely. Y'all be safe, and don't do nothing that I wouldn't do. And pray for me, because God knows I need it, and I'm praying for you guys. Bye, y'all. Happy Friday. Be safe. Probably crack the windows. Oh, Lord have mercy. My brain ain't screwed on right this morning. Y'all, I'm at the laundromat. Is my phone messing up? It looks like it's messing up. It's like slow.
Why is my thing being weird?
That's when I'm sitting here. This truck is a mess. I'm washing laundry.
What did I do? What did you do?
My face is a little burnt. Hey, Rainy. Hello, good morning. Good morning, good morning. And then, first thing this morning, 5 o'clock, Jesus comes up on my feed. I circled back to the Shroud of Turin. I've talked about this before. This is actually the most studied archaeological artifact that we have in history. It is the most studied artifact that we have. It's called the Shroud of Turin.
Didn't they find out it was a hoax or something?
It is believed to be the cloth, the linen, that Jesus was wrapped in before he was resurrected. So I saw that Sean Ryan
was Rainey the one that went on that cruise and then we never heard from them again? Or is that another person? There's a lot of people that come through the live, so I feel like that was the person, but whatever happened to them?
I don't know if you know who he
Did they like get kidnapped on the cruise?
is, but he's pretty cool. I saw that he had an episode with some like archaeologists talking about the Shroud of Turin. And then I noticed that Michael Knowles, 7 days prior, had another guy talking about the Shroud of Turin. And I'm like, well, why is everybody circling back to this? You know, why is all of a sudden this coming up? Like, we've had the Shroud for decades. I think since the 50s, we've been studying this cloth.
Scientific consensus points to the Shroud of Turin being a medieval fake, while hotly debated. Multiple radiocarbon tests date the cloth to 1260 to 1390 AD, and the 14th century church documents record bishops denouncing it as an artist's forgery intended to elicit offerings. So even back in the day, they thought it was fake.
Cloth. And once again, it was believed to be the burial cloth of Jesus.
The what, Brooke? The burial cloth? I heard that word before.
In this cloth. And once again, it was believed to be the burial cloth of Jesus Christ. And
Amanda, thank you for the floating heart.
what makes this cloth so magnificent is there's actually a picture depicted on the cloth. It is a negative image that we would see in photography. Well, even 300-400 years ago, we didn't have photography. And that is, they think, they carbon dated this thing in the 80s. And they said that it was a few hundred years old. Well, they were wrong. It's actually 2,000 years old. Exactly the time period that Jesus Christ was crucified and resurrected. Let me see when they found it. When was the Shroud of Turin found?
I might start taking Sundays off too. I might just play video games on Sundays on members only. Like, if this is how the weekends are, I don't know, dude. I'm good just streaming through the week.
So the first time that we see it in historical records is actually 1350. So if we found it in 1350, why did they think it was only a few hundred years old? Well, because of the carbon dating, but they've ran new tests. And this is why it's coming back into circulation, because they've done new testing on it. And I just want to tell you a little bit about this shroud, and I actually have pictures of it if you're wondering what it looks like.
Oh, how the turntables have turned.
The one right here is the one that is on the cloth. Right here is the computer generated image to touch it up. This picture is on a cloth with human blood. There's so much more evidence behind this cloth.
I'm gonna need a little bit more evidence
To solidify that this was actually the cloth that Jesus Christ was buried in after he was crucified by the Romans.
At some point in time, after she leaves the truck, she says that she was going to biblical school or Bible school or something, which was never a thing until she lost it. But maybe she thinks she's a biblical scholar.
There's so much evidence. To look at a piece of evidence like this, of this cloth, I mean, it's just mind-blowing. So this is part of the cloth. You can see the outprint of a man. It's crazy. So let me tell you a little bit about this cloth and why this is
Minecraft head.
back in circulation. Because once again, like I just said, in the 80s, they did testing on it. They did carbon testing, carbon dating, and they said it was only a few hundred years old.
That toast looks more like Jesus than this thing.
Well, now they have done X-ray crystallography, and that puts the shroud at exactly right at 2,000 years old. So
Crystallography, huh?
it is in the same classical time period that Jesus Christ would have been crucified and resurrected. I think the biggest mystery of this cloth is how the negative image got on the cloth. We're going to talk about that in a minute. So it was originally tested in the 80s. The testing was wrong. It is the most studied artifact in the entire world. And they carbon dated it to the 12th century. So if
What was that fucking thing they found in a ship that had all those gears and stuff in it? And people were like, this is so advanced for the time period it came from. I think it ended up being a compass or some kind of star map or something. That should be the most studied artifact in history. Why the fuck are people studying this shit?
it was found in 1350, and then in the 80s it was carbon dated to the 12th century. I get how they can mess that up. I get how they, I get how they got it, because carbon dating only goes back so far. So like I said, they ran testing. It's called an X-ray crystallography, and it puts the shroud at 2,000 years old. So that thing was made, woven in the same time period that Jesus was walking this earth. So what would leave an image? Here, let me give you the facts. Let me give you the evidence that we already have.
Well, X-ray crystallography. It uses an X-ray or macromolecular crystallography. The primary technique to determine the exact 3D atomic and molecular arrangement within a crystalline solid, which would not so that's just to determine what it's made out of, not how long ago it was made.
The image that is on the shroud cloth, it would have taken 34 trillion watts of energy, radiation, to leave that image on that cloth. And it would have happened, I think he said a millisecond. It would have happened. It would have been a blast of light, like a photo being taken, and the negative image would have been on the shroud. That's the only logical way that it happened, was through radiation, through a quick blast X-ray type of situation. This is a negative image. So it's like a picture was taken of Jesus as he was wrapped in the linen. There was pollen on the shroud that they tested. That pollen was from the region that Jesus Christ was crucified, Calvary. That pollen was linked back to, like, what was that, Jerusalem? Was that the walls of Jerusalem? Listen, I don't know.
It's meaningless. If I was making a fake fucking thing, then yeah, I would get pollen from the place where I'm trying to make the fake thing from. I put human blood on it, and I'd make it spooky. This means nothing, Brooke.
The point is the pollen that was on the cloth came from one place in the darn world. One. Calvary. Where he was crucified. The image that is on the shroud, the hairstyle of the man that was covered in the linen, and the reverse image that was on the linen, that hairstyle was the hairstyle for that classical period where Jesus walked earth, where Jesus was here preaching the word. Okay? So the same hairstyle for the time. The pollen only could come from like one place in the world, where he was crucified, where he was put to rest, and then when he rose. The blood on the Shroud of Turin shows radiation. Let me tell you something. This was 2,000 years ago. I can assure you that there was no x-ray machines, no radiation around.
Why does she have blood on her hand? And there, radiation has been around as a naturally occurring thing, right? I don't know if she thinks that that has to be something spooky. Meteorites can fall and have radioactive materials in them. The uranium is an element that is fucking radioactive. Like, I don't know, dude. Again, that doesn't, what is this supposed to, she thinks someone x-rayed this before? Shh, none of that. She thinks that this was x-rayed back in when he was crucified. Why would she even think that?
Not of the, you know, not atomic, like nuclear.
I'm embarrassed for her, yeah.
Like, we didn't have any of that. So where did the radiation on the Shroud of Turin come from? Let's remember that God is light. Jesus is light. Y'all, all of this is new evidence that they found out in recent months, if not the past few years, about the Shroud of
So Brooke thinks just like light is radiation?
Turin.
Period?
The fact, and you know, I don't think that humanity would have been, I think that all of these things that are slowly coming out about the evidence of Jesus Christ being a man, being crucified, being the Son of Christ, I think all of this information is coming out slowly at the perfect time. But it's right in unison with revelations taking part in our our lives right now. Like, if we would have got this information earlier, we might not value it like we do now. Do you get what I'm saying? If they would have discovered this in the 80s, things might have been different when it came to this information. I'm supposed to be doing makeup. I just forgot about that, didn't I? I think that discovering this information is happening at the right time. We needed this information to bring people to Christ. And right now, we need to bring people to Christ more than ever. And this evidence is irrefutable. This is science. The blood on the shroud, because it tested positive for blood. And
would sunlight leave radiation on a cloth, though? Like, I don't think that's possible. Unless I just don't know anything about radiation. But there could have been some kind of radioactive material left on it. I don't know why they would do that, but who knows?
You know, they've got samples of that blood. Showed radiation. At the same point.
Yeah, I know the sun is like radioactive.
So on the shroud, there is blood residue. We see that around the head area. We also see that around the hands where he would have had nails driven through his hands. We also see that in the feet area where the nails were driven through his feet. The Shroud of Turin it is consistent with a man being crucified in the way that Jesus Christ was. And let me just tell you something, fun fact. It was actually against the law to crucify people in Rome. You couldn't do that to a Roman citizen. You couldn't do that to one of the citizens. They did it to Jesus because he was not one of them. So whoever was in that who was ever in that cloth, that linen cloth, they did something to him that was against the law at the time to do against their own citizens. So that's even more evidence. That's even more evidence that it was in fact Jesus Christ, our Messiah. The wounds on the Shroud of Turin, the wounds are consistent with a man that was crucified, which would have been very rare at the time because they didn't do that to their own people. It was outlawed against the citizens.
What are we getting at, Brooke?
Also,
like, I don't even know what her point is to that. Not only is this real, it was also illegal. Okay, what does that add to this?
The Shroud of Turin, the way that it was woven, was also from the time period that Jesus Christ was walking earth. So there's so much evidence. The pollen that came from that region, the radiation in the blood, the wounds being consistent with crucifixion. What else was there?
Why is she so into this today? I think Rev and Shani are into this kind of crap too. But like, Why? Why, Brooke? Go find a murder to report on.
There was so much we were just talking about. It's kind of crazy. 34 trillion watts of energy it would take to leave a negative image on that linen cloth. In my belief, and you want to know what I believe? I believe that was the exact moment that he was resurrected. The moment that
So, like, when the nuke, was it Hiroshima? I don't know. I don't know if it was Hiroshima. It was some nuke that went off in some place. I think it was Japan. And it was there's so much radiation that the shadows of the people were left, like, imprinted on the ground. So are they saying that it would have taken that amount of radiation to, like, make this cloth? In which case, they would have been fucking disintegrated if we need, like, a nuke level power to have this being impressed onto the cloth.
that burst, that millisecond
It was Hiroshima?
of radiation,
Did I say Hiroshima?
that was God resurrecting him. And he was in the linen cloth. He was in the linen cloth. He'd been dead for 3 days. And God resurrected him. And I will always believe that was the moment that life was brought back to him. He was resurrected. The only way that negative would be on that cloth is if they had some kind of crazy x-ray machine or something that produces massive tons of radiation, and they had no way to do that. That cloth has radiation. The blood had radiation. This is why you're seeing people talk about the Shroud of Turin now. Like I said, what's his name? Ryan. I just said his darn name. Anyways, he has one. Michael Knowles has an episode that tells so much more scientific evidence that they have found out in recent years. What is Ryan's name? I just said, like...
You only use people's first names anyways. Let's just call him Ryan.
What is it? Oh, y'all, I'm so
listen.
sorry. And it's annoying for me because it's like, sir, first of all, do you think the queen of knowledge of perverts, do you think that I'm that dumb? They do. They're that dumb.
At Patty Cat Bebop
She's
super
pretty dumb.
chatted $2.11. OMG, I hate her. SpaceX was God to Brooke. Sparkles melting face. Sparkles heart hands medium skin tone. Sparkles smile with a halo.
Thank you, Patty. Thank you for the 3. Yeah, SpaceX explosion was God to Brooke. She died on that hill. Even after she saw videos of the exact same thing she saw from different angles, and Elon Musk was like, yeah, fucking rocket exploded. There goes, like, a bunch of money. She was like, nope, that was God, honey. I don't care what anybody says.
I forgot to put on the comments. You see how many non-believers there are? No amount of evidence will ever never convince a fool. People are so jealous that they can't think for themselves. That's what it is.
That makes sense to me. I'm so jealous that I can't think for myself.
They're
Like, why would jealousy hinder someone's thought process?
jealous that they can't just go find the evidence for themselves. And so they try to discredit somebody else because they feel stupid. And I feel bad for people like that. But you're not going to come to my channel being disrespectful when I'm trying to lead others to Jesus. There's always people near me. I live on the streets. I'm homeless. You know what? I'm not listening to it this morning. There we go. Apparently, some people are too immature to have the right to speak.
Did someone disagree about the Shroud of Turin?
So let's recap because I want to remember this. The testing that they did in the 1980s where they carbon dated the Shroud of Turin was wrong. And it will be if it's not, because carbon dating only goes back so far. So the thing about carbon dating is it's not perfect, okay?
Is it? Brooke, you've looked into this? You've done a lot of carbon dating yourself?
If those bones are much older
What scientist told you this, or was it one of your conservative talkheads that don't know anything about anything? Was it Candace Owens? God help us if it was Candace Owens.
Than we were expecting, then we're going to be thrown off by the carbon dating, because the carbon dating only goes back so far. So carbon dating is, you know, a great tool that we have, but it's not guaranteed to pinpoint an exact year, especially if that artifact is much older than what we were expecting. And so the Shroud of Turin, when they found it, I guess in the 1350s, they really, I guess when they tested.
You know what, Tink? I guess you're going to make up a whole bunch of lies about those people on the boat now, opposed to just a normal person to be like, man, I wish I had a fucking boat. Why can't I have a boat?
Then in the 80s, they thought that it probably came from that time period, and they carbon dated it to the 12th century, which was wrong. Now, when they did the X-ray crystallization geography,
the X-ray crystal geography, that thing, I can't remember what it's called now. X-ray radio, I don't fucking know. The crystallography, not crystal geography. It just shows what the thing's actually made out of. So unless you're gonna say that these materials didn't exist past this date, it doesn't prove anything. And I doubt that that's true. Because what, pollen, human blood, and the fucking cloth that didn't exist after that date? It obviously did.
I'm trying. They discovered that it was over 2,000 years old, which puts it in the time period of Jesus Christ getting crucified. The fact that the blood on it had radiation in it, that it was woven during that time period, that it had the pollen from that region, there is too much evidence to to argue and say that this was not the burial cloth. This was the burial cloth.
I thought she just said burial wrong by mistake at first. She thinks it's burial.
I know it in my soul. This was the linen that Jesus to argue and say that this was not the burial cloth. This was the burial cloth.
I'm gonna have to soundbite that every time she says burial. Why did she say it like that?
I know it in my soul.
It's like when she adds an extra syllable to documentary, and I can never remember how to say it. Documentary, something like that. She adds an extra syllable somewhere.
This was the linen that Jesus was wrapped in after he was crucified. Even the blood on the cloth,
Baba Booey Ariel,
is consistent with a crucifixion. Churches and science need to start coming together.
No, we can keep those separate. I really have to pee. Oh, okay, we're 2 hours in. I was like, why do I have to pee? Day's just going fast today. I'm kind of tired. Maybe that's why. I'll be back. I'll be back in a couple of minutes here. I'm gonna smoke a bowl too. In the rain. Be good little angels. If any crazy people come, I'll have to get rid of them after.
If we can find a happy medium, we can help bring people to God. It's the church doesn't want to acknowledge science, and science doesn't want to acknowledge the church. And that is a problem, because these things go together. This linen proves it. This linen proves that we need science to bring people to Jesus Christ. I mean, this is irrefutable evidence. Irrefutable. I don't care what anybody has to say. As a matter of fact, I won't even listen to it, because I'm not letting Satan seep into me. I know what's true. I know that this is the cloth that wrapped Jesus Christ. I know it without a doubt. You know how I know? How did the radiation get on it? God is light. God is light. What is radiation? Energy, light. How did that negative image of Jesus Christ get on that cloth? When they didn't even have power back then, fam. Yeah. This is how God talks to you. This is exactly how God talks to you. You just got to use your brain, and don't let Satan seep in. Use your brain. This is irrefutable evidence. It's crazy. I'm looking for something to thin this out. Well, this is not good. Where is everything? I'm washing laundry, y'all. It's kind of crazy that it took this long to discover how the cloth, and they still don't know how it was made. They probably never will. because it's not man-made. Okay? That's not man-made. I don't care what anybody has to say. You cannot argue with the evidence. The pollen that's on it came from that region where he was crucified. The blood is consistent with radiation. The only way that the image could have even been made is through some sort of radiation. The weave of the blanket was from the time period where Jesus Christ was alive. I mean, there's too much irrefutable evidence to lead me anywhere but to this happened. This happened. Now, I can't explain how that image got on that cloth, but that ain't, I don't care. I know how it got. I don't need to know how. I know how. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need to know how. I know how. I know how that image got on there. There's only one way. God. God. And you know what's crazy is I still think aliens are real. I probably always will. Two things can be true at once. Two things can be true at once. And just because God's word is real doesn't mean that aliens aren't. I don't know where this simple-mindedness comes from in like society. They think if they believe in God, then everything else on earth ain't real or something. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. I think that the church and science have failed us all, because there should have been a connection between both, because there's more evidence to support that Jesus Christ was here and the Messiah than not. Did you know that? Yes, there is. There's more evidence to support that the word of God is real than the opposite. It's crazy. And you know, most of that is science-based. But the church don't want to even acknowledge science. So even though science proves that Jesus Christ was a man and that he was the Messiah and that he was the Son of God, the church doesn't want to acknowledge it because of dinosaurs, because of aliens, because of everything else in science that could be real. How stupid. That's literally cutting your nose off to spite your face. There needs to be a connection between science and church, and I've said this for a long time. I got in trouble as a kid for asking about dinosaurs. But you know, the craziest thing is as a kid, I was obsessed with paleontology, and so I studied bones, and I knew about all these different skeletal remains we had found all over the world from different generations that dated way back before 2,000 years. And so you ask these questions as a kid, like, you know, what is this? What is that? How do the dinosaurs exist? Blah, 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 blah. And they blow you off in the church. And I think that is baloney. Dinosaurs and the Bible could have coexisted. Absolutely it could have. It'd be stupid to think otherwise, because we know that God existed and we know that dinosaurs existed. So clearly, there's a little miscommunication going on. And it's probably because the church don't want to be honest, and it's probably because science doesn't want to be honest. Like, I know that dinosaurs are real, and I know.
What was up with that blood spot? Why was there a blood spot there? It looks like she got rid of it now. What was it even from? Two things can be true at once, though, Brooke, because you know about aliens and God. There could be creator, and this fucking shroud could also be shit. Like, this is just the shroud is a hoax. Shroud's a hoax. Doesn't mean that God isn't real, but it means the shroud's fucking fake.
No, that God is real. But God, I can't say that in the church. And that's baloney. You're denying the evidence. Like you're lying to yourself. You're denying the truth. You're denying the truth for your faith. But you're lying to yourself by doing that. Because there's no arguing with the evidence. Dinosaurs were
Oh, it was a bronzer in her hand. Okay.
real.
It looked like
We
blood.
had, you know, evolution took place. Okay? I don't know how it corresponds with the Bible. I don't get it either. All I know is there's no arguing with the evidence, and I go off of evidence, and
You literally don't.
yeah, there's no arguing with it. I've seen the bones, studied them for the majority of my life.
Alfred plea by definition is acknowledging that the state has enough evidence to prosecute you as guilty, but she still says she's innocent. So you don't go by off of evidence. Off of your own fucking life events, you don't go off of evidence.
There's like, what, 50 different species that we were before we were Homo sapiens? There's no arguing with that. I love Jesus, okay? I don't quite understand how all of this comes into play either. And it's hard for me because I know Jesus existed. And I know that God is real. And so it's a mind, it screws up my mind to wonder about these things and why certain things were maybe left out of the Bible, or maybe they just didn't know. Listen, it don't make sense to me either. We don't know what happened before the first flood either. Like, was there dinosaurs then? There could have been. I don't know. All I'm saying is if there was a unity of church and science together, I think that it would bring more non-believers to get to know Christ. That's all I'm saying. If the church was to come out and say, whoa, look at this shroud, and we discovered that it was 2,000 years old. It was, made during the same time. It was woven during the same time period that Jesus Christ would have been getting executed. Not only was it woven during that time period, but it was also in the same style. Like, it was literally an exact replica.
Dude, that's what I'm saying, though. If you're a forger? I don't know. A fucking scam artist, somebody who forges things. You would do it in the same kind of style that was so many years ago. You would get the pollen from the specific place. You'd put some human blood on it, and you'd be like, look what I found, you guys. I'm famous now. I don't know who found it. I don't know who was trying to pass it off. But even back in the day, it said that they were sus of it.
Of a burying cloth for that time period. It was woven. It was made by hand. Let me tell you something. They've replicated a 3D image of this thing. Not only is this a negative on this cloth, but this is a negative 3D image.
No, that's what they were looking at, the molecules, you goofball.
Listen, I'm not a very smart woman, but I just
Clearly
know that they was during walking miles for water back then. So I just don't quite understand how you could fake this. How could you fake this? You couldn't. The only way that it's possible for it to even exist is because of God. Now, I do believe the Vatican, they've paid for money for research on this Shroud of Turin. I think that they were the main ones that did a lot of investigating. I could be wrong about that. It was a church. It was one branch. I think that all of this scientific evidence that we are coming to know about our Lord and Savior, I think these revelations are coming to light because we're living through revelations. It's going to get to the point to where that is in your face. If that's not in your face,
I'd watch that movie. Chris Pratt crossing the Red Sea on a raptor.
If that is not enough evidence to convince you that Jesus Christ gave up his life so that you could have forever, no amount of evidence ever will. The pollen on that thing came from the exact location where he was crucified. It's crazy. I think we'll have a lot more stuff coming out like this about Jesus in in years to come, because I think that the farther society falls away from him, the more evidence he's going to reveal to us. Yeah, because then when they're standing before him and they said, oh, Jesus, I didn't know. I didn't think you were real. It's not my fault. He's going to say, but what are you talking about? I released the Shroud of Turin.
I released it.
You knew that only God could have
Like it was a fucking album or something.
put that radiation in that blanket. There's little pieces. That's how God
Hey, Mac, whole lot of Miller.
talks to you, and you have to listen. You have to pay attention to the evidence.
Remember when I dropped the Shroud of Turin? Yeah. None of you believe me still. You guys are fucked now.
And listen, it shouldn't even take that much to get you there. God really wants to
Shroud of Turin was a hit.
God really wants us to have faith in him without all of this evidence. That's what we're supposed to do. But I understand that we're living through revelations, and people, they're entitled. So they're looking to him asking, if you're there, give me a sign. And I do it too. Y'all know I talk about it all the time. And he does. He'll send me a shooting star or a damn angel.
He'll send me one.
I'm still confused about that one. I guess I'll
just picture God getting all backed up with work and stuff. He gets like a little push notification. Brooke needs your help. Just fucking send her a shooting star or something. Get her out of my hair. We got real problems to worry about.
Go back in 18 months, like Jordan says. Yeah, I think these things are going to become more interface, irrefutable evidence. And there's no excuse for you ignoring him, you know. Nobody. That is crazy. That shroud is really an amazing piece of, I mean, it is the most important artifact on Earth that we've ever had. Hands down. It is the most important artifact on planet Earth.
No, it isn't. But it was like that, what was it, the Voynich manuscript? Voynich? I don't know if I'm saying that right. That weird, crazy thing that looked really interesting that ended up just being a fake, too. People wasting a lot of time with fakes. There's money in it, that's why. It's like Bob Lazar. Bob Lazar makes a fuck ton of money off of saying that he did some alien shit. A lot of people believe Bob Lazar. Bob Lazar is he's a hoaxer. He's a fraud.
It's the only thing that we have that it could even come close to Jesus. It held his body after he was crucified. He bled on it. It's one of the most. I mean, honestly, looking at it, it's just crazy how much it looks like a man of that time. Jesus was not white, by the way, for those that don't know. So the shroud actually depicts a man who would have had the features of a man from that area. The wide nose, the longer face. It still looks like Jesus, like the West version of Jesus. But fun fact, Jesus was not.
There was an article about element 115 being a hypothetical element written in a science magazine the week before Bob Lazar went on his little TV appearance. His wife also died in a really sus way. He might have murdered his wife.
White. He was a Jew. And he had a very tan skin. He would have been very, very tan, if not, what do they call that? Ethnic? I don't know. He could have appeared black. For that time period and the way that they lived, he would have been a very dark man. So, and actually, let me just fact check myself, because I'm going off of what I've learned about him in the past. Was Jesus white? I know that's not right. Let's just ask Google, see what she says. No, he was not white. Okay, so I was right. Scholarly consensus based on historical and archaeological evidence points to him being a Middle Eastern Jew with brown eyes, dark hair, and olive brown skin. Likely similar in appearance to Judea during this time. The Gospels do not explicitly describe his physical appearance, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't.
The fuck? I'm not
Get
black.
him and come and arrest me!
No,
I
I'm
just
not black.
walked 12 miles!
And that is perfectly fine, and I will allow you to pay for your...
Hurry up and check me out before I go to jail!
At Patty Cat Bebop super chatted $2.11. Brooke said Jesus had a tan.
Probably. She's crazy. Thank you for the 3, Patty.
Doesn't matter what color he was. He's all of our lords and saviors, just like God is all of our fathers, just like we are brothers and sisters. It really doesn't matter, but I talk about it because the Shroud of Turin, you can see a face of a man. Here, I'll show you the picture.
The Minecraft head.
You can see the face of a man, and you can clearly tell that it's accurate. It would have been accurate because he wasn't a white man. The face, there's a prominent nose. He had a very bushy beard. So, sorry, this picture. You can see he has a very prominent nose with a long face. And they've actually This is a 3D image. I just need to keep repeating this because, listen, I don't know anything about 3D stuff, but apparently that's a pretty big thing. This radiation that left this imprint on this cloth, the light, whatever you want to call it, there's radiation in the blood. So we're going to call it radiation because clearly it had to have been radiation that left this face on there. It's the only plausible explanation. So that's what we're going to call it because it tested positive for radiation in the blood. So now, did he get radiation in his blood? Or is the radiation left over from after he bled out?
Oh my God.
When God brought him back and God resurrected him. I don't know. But
There's Dylan again. Dylan came into the Heather stream last night. I don't know what you were doing there.
they didn't have radiation back then, fam. How do you explain that? There's no explanation for it. There's none. The only logical explanation is that the Bible is 100% factual.
What? How the fuck did we jump to that conclusion?
And I already knew that. But Lord, when I was learning about this morning, was I emotional? I was like, I can't believe this. Like, why didn't nobody ever tell me this? This should be all over the church. The church should be teaching this. Shoot, excuse me, Lord. I'm trying. I mean, seriously, I gotta go in here and change these clothes, y'all. I bet I'm like, I don't know how long this thing took, but I bet. But, oh, first of all, I walked in here to put my clothes in the wash, and the laundromat has some church people in it, and they were like, oh, let us pay for your laundry wash. I was like, what? They were like, yeah, every third weekend of the month or something, they come and they pay for everybody's laundry. How sweet is that? I know. I was like, well, the guy tried to talk to me first, and it was some bearded man, and y'all know who I am. I got CPTSD, okay? I can't help it. I didn't know what he meant at first, and then his wife come up to me and was like, we want to pay for your, hey, Andrea, we want to pay for your laundry. Oh, I didn't grab my money. Damn, look at me acting entitled already. I guess because they paid for my wash. I think they're supposed to pay for my... I'm joking.
My goodness.
I want to see that thing. It would be so cool to see it in person. And another thing, you got to be standing like 8 feet back from it to even see the face on it. Hey, thank you. So that's kind of crazy too, is that you don't have to be right up on it to see the face of him. You actually got to be standing far back, like it was going to be on display for you to see it from behind. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I did wash my blankets, my sweaters, everything else. I think to be able to see the shroud in person, but I don't think it'll ever happen. They keep it up under lock and key, and most people never have access to it because, you know, lower dryer. And there's so much more that I'm not telling y'all. I just took down like the main key points so that I can remember it. There's so much other evidence that supports that being his burial cloth that it's unbelievable. Pretty much everything points to the Shroud of Turin being his burial cloth, which is crazy. I mean, it's amazing, but it's just, sometimes I'm shocked that I don't know these things. So there was a scholar, thank y'all again. There was a scholar who had the Shroud of Turin, and he tested it, and it came back, you know, all these, it came back 2,000 years old. And that was with the X-ray crystallization geography.
Which doesn't date anything. It just shows the molecular structure of the things. See what it's actually made out of.
Lord have mercy. I don't even know what that is. I know what carbon dating is because I used to study bones, but anyways. So this scholar discovers, ooh, I'm orange. I must be Ken of Trump. Hold on, it'll even out. Don't.
It's also not geography. It's crystallography. I don't know.
There was a scholar.
I'm sure she's never gonna bring this up again, so I'm not wasting my time learning about shit I don't care about. But I will if she brings it up some other time. How long is she going about this? This one's almost over.
Scholar who discovered that the shroud was 2,000 years old, and so he brought on a different scholar, and
You just let Brooke cook. I think I already read the thing. It's a fake, guys. It's a fake. It doesn't mean God isn't real. It just means that this is fake. And I also don't think that the Bible is 100% accurate.
that scholar
This sounds fucking ridiculous. The Bible is written by humans, bro. The right there. It can't be 100% accurate. It's going to be flawed. Humans are flawed. Blah.
was trying to contradict what the first scholar said. Do you know that the second scholar who was trying to contradict all of the evidence, he gave his life to Jesus Christ. And now he talks about how that shroud was Jesus's burial cloth. But he went on as a complete skeptic, trying to contradict that this shroud was over 2,000 years old. And he...
Oh, damn. There are over 1,000 pets. 1.3? I read that as 1.3 thousand. Just one. How? A third of a person?
He gave his life to Christ over it. So, how you go on as the mad scientist trying to disprove Jesus's life, and then end up one of the biggest Christians out here?
It fucking corrected it to the burial will be held. This is supposed to be burial. Fucking YouTube. That was like. Anyways.
To bring people to Christ. That's God. That's the power of God. He was a non-believer. He was a non-believer. Turned into a believer. I got on sunscreen later, so this will even out later. Good morning, Susan. There are...
That's not good. I don't like PDF files. Go get them.
So they carbon dated it to the 12th century. A scientist came out and said that had to be wrong. So then he studied the shroud and he ran testing through an X-ray crystallography. It put the shroud at 2,000 years old. The scientists that doubted the carbon dating actually become a firm believer that this was the cloth that wrapped the body of Jesus Christ after his crucifixion. At the moment of his resurrection, the negative image was printed on the cloth through some form of radiation. It's crazy. Everything, the entire cloth proves that Jesus Christ was the Son of God. The entire cloth. There's nothing to contradict it. Everything, every piece of evidence that we have studied about the cloth is evidence to support that Jesus Christ was our Lord and Savior, and that he was a man that walked and spread the word of God. And you know, it's crazy that he was the Son of Christ. It's crazy that I didn't know this. And I was wondering why I keep seeing videos for the Shroud of Turin. It's because they just figured all of this out. Like a few weeks ago. It's crazy. And I just feel like the church should talk about it. I feel like the church should talk about it. Them people in there are from a Baptist church that are down the road. I told her I've been looking for a Baptist church. You know, another thing that I noticed that I read about many years ago is how, what herbs in the Bible, after Jesus was put up on the cross and crucified, when he was taken off the cross, he was actually taken to a tomb.
What about the herbs?
Where he was supposed to be laid to rest. He laid there for 3 days and then he was resurrected. And this is when I believe that the power of Christ, the exact moment he was brought back was probably the exact moment that his image was left on that cloth, because it was radiation that left that image. So it would have been the exact moment that this 34 trillion watts of energy would have been turned into radiation to bring him back to life. That's what they're saying happened. Ain't that crazy?
Radioactive
But anyway,
resurrection.
The herbs that were in his...
I guess she thinks he was just like, he turned into light. Or...
were actually not burying
the nuke theory?
herbs. They were actually healing herbs.
Oh, herbs, yeah. I thought we were talking about weed.
Were they trying to heal him? Did they think maybe he would survive? I don't know. He didn't. He died.
What? So they crucified him, and then they buried him. But they buried him with healing herbs because they thought maybe he'll live. But he died.
He died a very slow, painful death. And so many things have changed through time that are not true. Like, apparently had like a crown of thorns. Well, it wouldn't have just been a little crown of thorns. It would have been an actual like crown. The whole head would have been covered with thorns. And these are not regular thorns. These thorns from that area of the world, once they dry, they turn into like 2-inch nails. They are so hard that they are the equivalent of a nail. And his whole head, it would have been a huge crown. It wouldn't have been just a little... I know how
Brooke would have been crying out for Dave so bad.
they depict it in the West, but we're talking historically, we're talking science. Historically speaking, it would have been a big crown, just like a king's crown, okay? It would have been a big crown that fit on his head with 2-inch thorns that were dried out and have the strength of nails. And this would have been pushed down on his head and left on his head while he was hanging on the cross. I can't talk about it anymore, I'll cry.
Because she knows Jesus. Yeah.
And once again, that was crazy. Hold on one second. So, crucifixion was actually considered barbaric during these times. As I said when we first started talking about this, it was the most humiliating form of punishment within the Roman legal system, and it was reserved for primarily slaves, foreigners, and those not deemed worthy enough of Roman citizenship. So the Romans actually didn't even crucify their own citizens because they found the practice to
Okay, but they start crucify people.
be barbaric. Whoever was in the Shroud of Turin was not a Roman. That's the point. Is whoever was in the shroud was absolutely crucified. The injuries with the blood pattern on the shroud are consistent with a crucifixion. Crucifixion was a deliberate and public form of torture designed to humiliate and demoralize the condemned. It was seen as particularly brutal, a brutal form of execution, and the Romans, who prided themselves on their legal and social order, would not inflict it on their own citizens. So, one thing's for sure, who was ever even in that shroud, and I know it was Jesus, who was ever even in that shroud was not a Roman. This would have been somebody who was a slave, and we all know that it was the son of Christ, I mean the son of our Lord, but yeah. while crucifixion was not used on Roman citizens, there were instances where it was applied to groups like Christians and Jews. I gotta go finish my laundry. I got a lot to do today. I know it's Saturday, but I've been up since like 5. Well, I was doing some studying for that because I wanted to make sure I knew exactly what I was talking about. I don't understand how they...
Studying? So is she going to Bible school at this point? What are we studying that for? Chris, thank you for the flower.
There's so many non-believers out here when we have all of this
I'm going to have to do studying. My brief, it's a fake.
evidence to support
Bro, it's a fake.
that Jesus was resurrected.
You can just tell it's a
He
fake.
was crucified and resurrected. I mean, we have his burial cloth.
But I have to know all the arguments for it, so to know how to disprove them. I gotta learn what crystal geography radio X-ray fun time extravaganza is.
Think about what I'm saying right now. It is the most important piece of it.
When Brooke couldn't tell the difference between like a rock and a turd on the ground.
Anything that we have on earth, that is the most important piece of thing on earth. Nothing else matters but that cloth. Listen to what I'm saying. Nothing else matters except for that cloth. I mean, and all of this worldly shit is purposeless anyways. But if there was one thing that might be worth something.
She's such like a religious nihilist, which almost sounds like an oxymoron. It's so crazy to me.
It's that cloth. It's the only thing that we have from Jesus Christ. Well, I mean, other than his love. He gave his life for us. But as far as
just sell some Mio,
artifact, I might have a mental breakdown if I ever saw it in person.
I would pay to send Brooke out there. If you want me to put money on Brooke's books, I'll send her out to see the Shroud of Turin to see her have a mental breakdown. How about that?
I wish that
she'd probably love it too. Brooke, it's your lucky day. I'm going to send you to the Shroud of Turin, and I'm also going to give you one of those t-shirts you want so bad.
there was a way for me to bring science and church together, because I know that they coexisted. I can't give the answers as to how certain things played out as far as timelines and, you know, when the dinosaurs were here and how, you know, I can't, maybe I could one day, but right now I can't give explanation as to how we have, you know, 20 different human species and a Bible. I understand that it contradicts each other, but there's no arguing with the evidence from both science and the church. There's evidence to support both. You can't.
Well, one could argue that one's like a cult, though, right?
Can't argue with those bones. We evolved.
Regardless if God is real or not, the way that religion is run is kind of like a cult, right?
It pains me to say it.
Or at least people will weaponize religion for cults, for sure, 100%.
And now we're de-evolving. It pains me to say it, but there's no arguing with the evidence. We evolved. Okay? We evolved. So, I don't know how to explain it either. I just know that the bones ain't gonna lie. I know the shroud doesn't lie. And I know there's a feeling that you have when you know God and you know his existence. And faith is so much...
Especially in like 2026, bro. Why would you need to pay money to be at a church? They could just do live streams, and they could run the church off of live streams, right? If people love God and Jesus so much. If so many people watch Brooke that I can pay my bills, the church could fucking just say the word of God, and I'm sure enough people would watch, and they would get AdSense for it. Why do they need to bleed money out of their following? What's up with that?
It's more than just believing, you know? It's a feeling.
And that's just one way to make money. They don't even have to pay taxes. They could fucking figure out a way to make money, is my point.
It's a feeling. To me, it is. To me, it is. But I love you guys. First of all, I tried this. They're nasty. Anything that is made with green coffee bean extract is extremely bad for you. This is just like Celsius. All you have
What are you doing that? What?
out here drinking Celsius. Let me tell you something. You're going to have kidney problems in about 5 years. If your back is already hurting and your urine looks like orange Play-Doh It's from the
God.
Celsius because it has that crap in it. And that stuff is horrible for you. You're better off just drinking Folgers, okay? The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup. So.
I got coffee beans in a grinder now. Because I drank all the ground up cockroach coffee. So we're balling now. And I guess it does taste better. I think it makes me more awake. I don't know. I gotta stop drinking energy drinks though. I'm doing like a day on, day off of energy drinks. Today is a day off. Yesterday was a day on. The day before that was a day off. And then eventually, I don't even know how that happened. Like, I think I had, it was that crazy week, the week of my birthday, that Heather Gillespie went live a bunch of times and James went live a bunch of times. And Brooke had 2 court dates. So that was like just a lot. So I needed energy. I felt like I needed energy drinks to stay awake for all of that. So it worked, but now I got to get off of them again.
Trash. I mean, literally, I wasted $3 on this. It's horrible. I took 2 sips and I started to feel horrible.
I don't know. I'm just picturing orange Play-Doh. It can't look good.
I'll never get that again.
For a pea color.
I went into Walmart to get stuff that I needed this morning for the park. Because I'm going to go to the beach. I needed shampoo, I needed razors, I needed avocados, some whites. So I grabbed that at Walmart this morning because I needed it. But we're going to go hang out at the beach today at some point. I also grabbed sunscreen because my nose is yet again burnt. And it's probably going to peel again. Because those glasses, I have a stuck up nose. I thought I explained this. When I'm out there in the sun, this thing is the only thing getting sun. Okay? It's like a Doppler radar for my body, okay? Like, seriously. So my nose gets burned constantly because of the way that these glasses sit up on my nose and it protrudes my nose out. That's why my nose keeps peeling. Just wanted to say, because it's going to peel again.
Put sunscreen on it?
So I don't want no internet rumors that I done burnt my nose off with retinol. It's the sun. Yeah, fun fact, if you go outside and touch grass, you might get a little sunburn too, you know? I love how people who don't even go outside want to tell me what I need to do when I go outside. It's like, wait a second. I'm pretty sure you ain't never been outside.
I go outside every day, but in short bursts.
Want to tell me why I'm sunburnt. They didn't call it a sunburn, but you get what I'm saying. It's crazy. It's like you don't even venture outside and you don't know what a sunburn is. Oh, but because you burned your face with retinol, you think I'm dumb enough to do that.
Just going on about the retinol.
Gotcha. I gotcha. Oh, Lord. We're going to church tomorrow, too, y'all. I might try a new one. This lady said they got a Baptist church down the road. I really like the Catholic Mass. They're more traditional than I'm familiar with. And I mean, they're more traditional, which I am familiar with. Definitely going to go tomorrow. Definitely. It is Holy Week. You know, if you really think about it, think about if we were followers of Jesus back then, 2,000 years ago today, and Jesus just died 2 days ago. And we can see his tomb, and we know he was brutally murdered by the Romans. And we know and we believe that he was the Son of God. Imagine.
What are we supposed to be imagining? What would happen?
In sorrow for 3 days. Because you know that this man was the Son of God.
I'm just picturing, you know, how Jared Leto has that island of all his women. Like, if Jared Leto just died, what would the women do? Just look at his tomb, I guess? Oh, Jared Leto's gone.
And then Sunday you wake up and you see that stone rolled away. And you see him standing up there.
Yeah, you see Jared Leto just standing there. What? Jared Leto? I did who was that other guy? David Blaine. I did a David Blaine.
To go from like complete devastation to relief, you know?
Didn't he go away after that?
I bet that was awesome. Yeah. Wow. I kept wondering why that shroud keeps popping up, y'all. If you don't, I mean, fact check me on everything I said. But I kept wondering why that shroud keep popping up. And it's because they just discovered all of this evidence. It's pretty amazing stuff. Learning about stuff like that.
Well, Jared Leto has an island, and he's like running a cult. I think he describes it as a cult. Other people have described it as a cult, but a good cult, quote unquote. And there's just a whole bunch of women in this cult. Let me look it up more.
Since I was a child, has solidified my belief in God. Since I was a child, I've been looking into the actual scientific facts of if Jesus was the Son of God. And there's more evidence to support that there is a God and that Jesus Christ was the Son of God than not. And I don't understand why the church and
Google says it's just a 3-day all-inclusive spiritual music festival where you basically sleep in tents and then he does yoga with you. I thought this was a like you live there kind of thing.
and society wouldn't utilize this evidence. I mean, you know, they always want a statistical study. They always want to know the facts.
There is a whole bunch of stuff about it, though. It's some people are like, he's just a nice guy and it's not a cult, it's an experience. And other people are like, it's a fucking cult. So I don't really know. I didn't look into it that much. I just know that people are saying that.
Even though they can't tell them. Why would you just ignore this evidence? Why would the church ignore it when they could get so many people to turn into believers? It's just sad. There needs to be a connection between science and church. And maybe I can do that a little bit here. Two things can be true at the same time. I love you guys, and I'm going to go finish my laundry, and we'll talk this afternoon. We're going to go to the park. I hope y'all have a great morning. I hope y'all stay safe out there. Pray for me, because God knows I need it, and I'm praying for you guys. Bye, y'all. God bless. Happy Saturday.
It's Sunday, but stop, Brooke. We're not doing any more. That's pretty good. 2.5 hours. We got through 2 streams. We finished that one ass long stream, and then we finished that one, so hallelujah. Just for the sake of, what is it? I was gonna say chronologicalness, but that's not really a word. For continuity, for the sake of continuity, when I come back, probably tomorrow, we're gonna pick up a couple streams ahead, because apparently I've seen this one and I've seen like the next 3, but I haven't seen the 1, 2, 3, 4 after that. So that's where we're gonna jump back in. So just so it's not like, I guess, confusing if she's into something else that I don't remember, I'll have to pre-screen it a bit before I do it tomorrow. I don't know what the other plans are for today. We'll do a B-sides tonight. We gotta get caught up with Foodie Beauty. James has been pretty much MIA. He's been texting Josh here and there when he has service or when he's able to charge his phone. I think he made 1 video, so not much. James is camping right now. He might die of heat stroke, I don't know. But he is doing better than I thought he would. He's kind of just accepting things. Part of me is a little suspicious. I'm worried that maybe he's made a friend there on this campsite, and that's how he's surviving, because he should be losing his fucking mind by now, but I don't know. He seems like he's all right. So there's not much James content, but I'll let you guys know if there's any other developments, and we'll watch like a couple little videos he did. And I don't think that there's a Stank Tank episode 3. Did we get through all of episode 2? I can't even remember. I'll have to go back and see it myself. But if there isn't, then maybe we'll look into updates with Lucy, even though that might just piss me off. She got off with violating the domestic restraining order, the domestic violence restraining order, so that's fucking stupid. Or Ashley. So that's the plan for today. I don't know if there's going to be anything in between, but thanks for watching Brooke with me, you guys. I love you, and I'll see you soon-ish, whenever. Bye.